Cheers.
Cheers to episode 177.
77.
Coffee.
Oh!
You know what that sprayed like, Evan? My God. Behave.
Naughty boy. NB.
Alex looks weird in a Busch Light t-shirt. Were you anyone else thinking that?
He doesn't drink Busch Light. That's a criminal act that he's wearing that.
Drink lots of Busch Lights. More than the average person in the United States, for
Don't
sure.
anymore.
Where
No,
does
that's not
Busch
true.
Light rank on the... what's that thing you get called?
Acid reflux.
Acid reflux. Alex, can you sit closer to your mic, please? Or hold it closer
Acid
to you.
reflux.
It's right. Where is your mic on your desk?
It's below. My laptop is elevated.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I never see it, and I always sometimes wonder where it even is. You guys want a fun fact to start the show? Since we're...
Yes.
Yep. How many days until Evans, one of his top 3 quarterbacks, plays football in Ireland?
15.
No, it's less than that. They play on the 24th, so it's 11.
It's 11 days until college football, depending on who you talk to, starts. For the purposes of the show, I wanted to get people in the mindset for college football. So there are only 11 days until we get a meaningful football game. Did you guys see that Georgia Tech, speaking of them, they signed like a 5-star offensive lineman?
Highest recruit of all time.
So Evan did see it.
Yep.
That's nuts. Who's even
Program
there?
history.
All right, trivia.
Number 27 overall in the rankings.
Who's their head coach? Could you name him?
I
I could not. I just looked him up. Never heard of him.
don't know if I can name him, but
I can see a picture
I
of
can
him.
see him. He
I
came
don't
from
think
Temple.
you guys can.
He came
I
from
only
Temple.
know who he
Unless
is
they got
because...
unless they got a brand new coach from the last 2 years.
Yeah,
He
is
got
new?
rid of their offense.
Is
I
he
think.
brand new?
I don't think he does their offense anymore.
I only
Oh,
know
Jared
because they
Gibbs
took
was
our
there.
defensive line coach,
The top guy,
Brent Key. Oh, he's
Brent
new.
Key.
Yeah, he is new. Because I'm thinking of the other guy right there.
Yeah,
Or
I was thinking of
that's
this
the
guy
second
with the
one.
flat
I'm
looks
thinking
like
of Jeff
hats.
Collins.
Oh,
Yes, Jeff Collins.
Brent
Brent
Key.
Key came from... Give me a conference.
Stand by. I didn't get that far. I just looked at photos of him.
He looks familiar.
Okay, I'm gonna go into his. Where did he come from most recently? Well, he's been at Georgia Tech since 2019 in a variety of roles, but his previous job was from 2016 to 2018 with this school in the SEC.
Georgia.
No,
Okay, I don't know.
he coached offensive line at this school in the SEC.
Tennessee.
No.
A&M.
Hint: he was born in Birmingham.
Alabama.
Correct.
Thought
46
that was
years old.
Too obvious.
August 1st. Born.
Said birthday. Happy birthday, Brent Key.
Happy birthday, Brent Key.
3. Happy birthday, Grant.
He's 11 and 10 overall as a head coach.
He's been there for a couple of years, actually.
Better than Mel Tucker.
Maybe they'll upset Florida State in Ireland. You never know.
No.
And then we'll be talking about
They
Brent Key
What
to open
channel
the
is that
show.
game on?
ABC.
Sounds like something.
ABC. It's got to be ABC. It's ACC teams.
Alex is usually correct about random guesses like this, but
I think
I don't
NBC
know.
had the
ESPN.
previous NBC had the
family
previous
of
2
members.
years.
kind of feels like a
That was
Peacock
Notre Dame.
joint. It feels like some Peacock game.
No, both of those teams are under obligation to the ESPN family of networks.
Oh,
It's
you are
Fox
right
Sports
about
1.
that. It is ESPN.
Maybe we'll get good old Sean McDonough.
Who is flying
Maybe.
to Ireland? Robert Griffin
Probably-
III?
Oh,
I thought
gross.
he got cut.
I hope he did. He was bad.
See that picture of him eating a croissant with his wife?
No.
No.
Oh
I
my
don't care
god!
about RG3.
You guys didn't see this RG3 picture?
No,
With
I
the
don't care about
croissant?
RG3.
All right, last thing, and then I'll move on. But this is what people get when we don't have strict opens. Did you see him eat this croissant with his wife?
No.
I don't
You
care
see-
about RG3. I don't care.
Well, like look
He's
at
the worst Heisman winner of the last
what
10,
the
15 years.
look at how into it he got.
I saw it. It's a little weird.
She didn't really get into it that much. He got into it.
God.
I mean, it was
Deep into
viral.
it.
It was viral. People were making jokes left and right about him. Anyways, college football will be talked about tonight. We're also going to talk about, speaking of that picture was in Paris for the Olympics. We'll do a little bit of Olympic talk to start the show because when nothing was going on in the sports world, thankfully, Team USA gave us some good stuff to talk about. We have some NFL talk as well, some questions from last week's show about worst to first in divisions. Then I said NCAA, calling it the Call Your Shot segment where you have to pick a long shot to make the playoffs. And also the opposite, someone heavily
Are you
favored
going to pull up those
to
odds?
miss the playoffs. I will, Alex. I will do that for us. We'll look at them together.
You could do that.
I know, but I just
Could do that to not make my dinosaur of a computer have to grind. But my
Literally
dinosaur
just
computer can
do it like right now.
Well, I'm trying to see if I can find the announcers for Florida State, Georgia Tech.
It's Kirk and Chris Fowler.
No way. That's a
Yes,
joke.
it is. Game day is going to be there, I'm pretty sure.
There's a site that I used to use religiously. I don't know if they've updated week 0 yet, but I would check. The last thing we're going to talk about, this is crazy. There's really only
It's
two.
Pam and Dusty Dvorak.
Dude,
Could be, dude. It could be.
there's really only 2 shows, this show and then next week before our teams play their week 1 college football games. So we do need to spend a little bit of time talking about some early season thoughts or big picture thoughts of our team seasons because that's going to be here before we know it. And we have to make time for Connor's NFL quarterback draft, which I was trying to figure out with him the day for that. It'll probably be, for those that are dying for it, the few of you, it'll probably be the week of August 26th, 27th that we'll record the 32 power ranking quarterback draft, the week before the NFL season. So we got a lot to get to. Let's
You
start.
see Pete Thamels on College Game Day now?
Shut up.
Your favorite
Like on the
guy?
desk?
He's
a
always been on
reporter.
College
Show's
Game Day.
cast features a trio of newcomers: Pete Thamel, Steve Coughlin, and Jess Sims.
I don't know who
Pete
the other
Thamel's
two
one of
those
the
are.
main reporters.
I mean, during Harbaugh, he was on it like the entire time.
They're going to do like
No, yeah,
small
Pete
segments.
Thamel's not going to be on the desk, but he's going to
Correct.
be like in the show.
He's doing the Tom Rinaldi bit where he makes you cry.
No, Pete Thamel couldn't make me cry.
No, he could not.
Tom Rinaldi, though. Wow, he's good at his job.
So good.
That other guy was better. Gene.
Gene
Wojcik,
Yeah.
wasn't bad.
506sports.com, where I use for the announcers, has not updated to 2024 yet. So I couldn't tell you who's announcing that game.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll get on it sooner than later. I guess I could look at who did it last year. While I do that, Alex.
It was on NBC last,
Last year was
Notre
NBC,
Dame
right?
and
You
Navy.
can't look it up.
Well,
What did I do? Nothing.
What did you
What'd you do?
Alex, you didn't do anything this past week.
yeah, seriously.
Any touching points? Any talking points? Nothing super
Touching
long?
points. What'd you touch? Alex?
All
I'm
right.
thinking.
Oh,
Uh,
God. Suspenseful.
7 days, dude.
all right. The only thing worth mentioning is that I started training for a triathlon that I'm doing with my father and uncle.
Oh,
Hey,
legit.
I got something to say. Shout out Alex's uncle. Got a hole-in-one in Raisin Valley the other night, Friday night.
second one.
At number 10.
What?
Second one.
Yes.
Wait, number 10. That's my worst hole in the course.
He got a
Wow.
hole-in-one.
What club?
No idea. I wasn't there to witness it. I just was told through the grapevine that, hey, Alex's uncle got a hole-in-one.
Word
He
spread
did.
around town. Wow.
It was.
I got a picture.
Was
Now,
that,
I don't know
was that on league night?
So you're training for a triathlon, Alex. When's this happening?
next summer.
They come to
I
you
got
or are
time.
you going to them?
We're working that out.
Oh,
Location.
you don't know where
Is
it's
it
going to be
next
at.
spring?
Summer.
Oh, next summer.
Little hint. Try
So
to
you have to
find a
start
place with
I have started swimming.
flat
And
terrain.
biking.
Biking, my uncle has a bike that he would like me to check out when I'm home for Labor Day
Oh, hell yeah.
versus me buying a bike right away.
So how are you going to do this bike thing? You're going to ride the bike back to Houston?
No, I think they'll just ship it.
That'd be good trading.
That would be great training, actually.
With a bike. No, that would take like weeks.
Point.
But yeah, I started swimming, doing laps. Swimming's exhausting. Exhausting. The only thing I'm worried about is the beginning. I believe you start with a swim.
Yes.
And
it's
so
swim,
everyone
bike,
goes
run.
in. And the water I'm already not great at the whole like turn my head sideways for air.
And
Like I'm okay at it. Good enough. Like I can
You're
swim.
gonna
No
drown
problem.
then.
But like when people are splashing around you a foot away, because everyone's all crowded up.
And let's
I've
be honest,
heard
Alex.
that it gets pretty bad.
You're not up there to win or anything. Just stay in the back. Just get in the back.
I'm not going to try to win the triathlon.
Yeah, so you don't need to be in a crowd of people. Let everybody run into the water, then you jump in afterwards.
Have you seen like the beginning of a triathlon? It's just
a lot
crowded.
of splashy.
That's why I'm telling you, Alex, let everybody do their splashing, and then you jump in after. Like 30 seconds. Literally, you stand on the beach 30 seconds after, and then jump in.
Okay. Well, either way, I
Yeah,
think
it's not a
swimming
bad
will
idea.
be tough, but we'll get through that.
How
Got
far
lots
was
of
swim?
time. It's like a mile. It's not terrible. I mean, that's pretty long for a swim.
Yeah, I'm
Imagine
trying to think of, like,
swimming
Is it a
around
mile?
track
I don't know.
4
I don't even
times.
think it is a mile. Is it?
0.93. So about a mile.
I'd round up. How many laps is that in my childhood pool?
Oh God.
Hundreds.
That's a problem then. No diving board either. Problem.
How far was your?
I couldn't even
How
tell
many
you.
feet was your pool?
I couldn't tell you.
It was like 2 feet. You can jump the distance of the pool underwater. You can swim Grant's pool underwater, no problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Without
get
coming
that.
up for air.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
at
I would
least,
have
like,
problems.
That's probably 20 feet. At least 20 feet, because it's more than 4 body lengths.
For those driving in their car wondering, it would take you 5 days and 7 hours to bike from Houston to Tecumseh.
It's not that far.
So really, you could just take off a week of work and you could do this.
So how many feet are we saying Grant's pool is? 25?
I don't know.
25, 30 feet.
It was like 8 feet deep.
Well, there's 5,000 feet in this swim. So
Divided by 20.
couple laps.
That's the smallest.
couple down and backs. 200 laps. Easy. That would be impossible. No way you can do this. This will be the most impressive thing you've ever done, if that's accurate.
Well,
You had a whole year of training. Let's know how it's going, man.
my body is really sore right now.
Are you following a regimen?
I mean, I'm just trying to get the fundamentals down first, run consecutive miles in a row.
All right, Alex, I'm just also telling you right now that you're going to have to lose your strength training.
Correct. I'm not going to be bulking by any means.
You can't lift as heavy anyway. Your body, there's a certain cutoff point. Your body either trains for like strength training or it trains for cardio endurance. And if you're still trying to do both, your body's going to pick one, and you're not going to be able to fully maximize, reach your potential on both.
Well, like you said, we're not trying to win the triathlon. We're trying to get through the triathlon.
Okay, so you still have to quit like strength training. Like I'm not saying
not all of
I'm
it.
not saying
I'm not going to
I'm
quit
saying,
lifting.
I'm not saying that, Alex, but I'm saying like, okay, I'm like trying to improve my squat, or I'm trying to improve my bench press. You have to do more endurance training.
Or like high reps, lower weight. Yeah, I already got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Alex, do you know who Nick Bear is?
I have heard of him, yes.
I feel like he could have some. I feel like I've seen him do this thing.
I think he showed me a video.
He still lifts a decent amount, but he's also a freak. Like he's a unique specimen. So,
The
but
big
maybe
thing
some
is I have
inspiration
to
there.
be eating a lot more.
Yes.
Yep. Calorie intake's got to go
Subway,
up, buddy.
like
My
Michael
calorie
Phelps.
intake's got to increase. So I'm trying to eat a lot.
Jared.
I'm trying to just like swim consistently for like a half hour without stopping. That's
Wow.
pretty tough.
A half hour.
How do you even measure that time?
Alex,
You can't
I
have a
think
clock
you
in the
need to
water.
start smaller. You got
Apple Watch.
That's what I'm asking. He needs like a acclimation. He needs to
Yes.
like build up.
I'm not full blown just in it right now. I'm not.
I think
You
running
you
just
should
said
be.
you
triathlon
tried to
every morning.
swim for a half an hour straight.
That's in it.
That is jumping in the deep end with weights on your ankles.
No pun intended.
For the record, my father can swim nonstop for 30 minutes, and he's like, "This is a good starting."
Well, he's an athlete.
he has.
That's really impressive. One less toe though.
Yeah, one
Yes.
less toe. It's not like I'm swimming fast. It's just like floating and kind of going as best you can. The running, I've been running for like a month or two now, so it's not like the worst thing ever. At least
Well,
I
in
have
fairness,
some sort of
Alex,
basis.
your whole thing that you can eat 12 eggs, Now you can eat 12 eggs for every breakfast.
You'll
if you
have
really
to be
wanted
eating
to.
12 eggs. What's your
The
favorite
protein intake's been higher.
what's your favorite leg of the activities so far? Like what do you enjoy the most?
Well, I like swimming.
It
It's
sounds
fun.
like you don't.
It's fun to get better at it. I like it because I'm not that great, and I can improve. Running in the Houston heat is warm.
Mm.
It's kind of exhausting.
Sounds like you need a Pelly.
Yeah, I do want a Peloton. They're just way too expensive.
You better get a swim cap for the day of. If you go into that and
The
do that swim without a swim cap, it'd be a joke.
The actual triathlon, yeah, I'll wear it.
And
I'll wear a
earplugs.
swim cap. But like when I'm at this pool and I'm looking to my left and right in the other lanes, and these old like fat dudes, like they're not skinny dudes, like old, 60, chubby, they can just swim nonstop the whole time.
Like
So I
coasting?
feel like it's just like they can just freestyle swim for like a half hour easy, like no problem. And I think it's just mainly just technique. If you just get all that down, I don't think the actual swimming part is that tough. It is tough, but I think we can get there.
Yeah, I think gliding
Anybody wants
on
to join?
water with good technique is not that
If
bad.
you guys want in, feel free.
I don't have time enough to train to my full
That's what you
capabilities.
say.
I really
You-
don't, Alex.
We're not trying to win the triathlon, and we're just trying to
Alex, I'm
get
coaching
through it.
2 baseball teams next summer. I don't have time. Sorry. Next.
Grant,
He's out. If River
you
Oaks,
want in?
if their pool was open, I'd do it. But it's not. So how do I train?
Oh, you guys have a lot of excuses.
I don't have excuses. I literally don't have time to train.
You could be training right now. and
Alex, you
quit
have an
this
opportunity to
podcast.
train year round. I don't have opportunity to train year round.
That is somewhat true. Yes, I could bike year round without fear of snow or ice or death. Yes.
Correct.
I kind of want to get into biking.
Am I crazy to think biking will be the easiest part by far?
No.
Are you
I
crazy?
feel like that's like
Depends on
I
how
think biking's
comfortable
the
your bike
farthest-
is.
obvious.
Your
farthest one,
biking
isn't
will be
it?
the most uncomfortable with the seat.
It's the furthest one, but like riding a bike is
You and your
easy.
bad knees.
If
oh
you
my
get a
God,
cramp,
you're not gonna-
though-
you're not even going to make it halfway through the running and you're going to give up.
If you get a
I'm not
cramp,
gonna give up. I
That'll
can
be
run
bad.
now. My knees don't hurt as much anymore.
good thing about swimming is as much tired as you get, you don't cramp up in water. You're
You
good.
can cramp up in water.
You
I
can.
think you can.
That was
cramp
stupid
up
to
in
say.
water.
But like you don't feel pain in your joints nearly as much in water as you would on a bike or a hard cement running.
I feel like bike is the
Just
least
get
amount of pain. It's no impact.
But on your butt, if the
Joint
seat's uncomfortable.
impact. Okay, but you can get through a little butt pain.
Yeah?
I don't know. That would rattle me.
You guys don't have much faith in me, but I'll do my best.
No, I think you can do it.
We'll find out.
Good luck.
Is it a full marathon or a half marathon?
It's an Olympic triathlon.
Yeah, but the running portion, how many miles?
I think it's 5-ish.
Oh,
Not that bad.
oh,
5 miles?
It's
How
not
long's a
terrible.
bike?
Like 23.
20
me
miles
see.
is a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not short.
And how much is the swimming?
I got it. It's 6.2
Swim
mile run,
is
0.93
Yeah.
swim, 25-mile bike.
25-mile bike.
Okay, Alex, I'll start training.
Oh wow,
See, you can do it.
I'm still holding out.
The swim is going to be by far the hardest.
I don't know where I can train for my swimming, but I'll figure it out.
River
I said,
races.
I'll
The
just-
middle
I might
school.
I might just jump into it.
Middle school.
Middle school.
Tire sharks.
My dad swims at the middle school. Well, used to swim at the middle school pool. In the
it's under
morning, the
construction.
blue.
I don't know like the time it's available or whatnot.
Man was drowned there once. Never forget.
What?
I couldn't do the backstroke in Mrs. Foley's class.
Are you kidding me? You have
I
a
can't.
pool.
I can't backstroke though. Have you ever seen me backstroke? Ask yourself.
I guess I haven't, but
There's a
raced
reason.
in your pool.
Correct. I'm belly down. I'm a belly down swimmer.
6 miles on a run. I have to start training.
6 miles. You can-
6.2.
you can do.
Okay, you're gonna see me training tomorrow. Day 1 starts tomorrow.
I don't believe that.
6 miles is a 10K, right?
Yeah.
No idea.
People wake up and run 10Ks. It's nothing.
That's
I know
true.
Evan could run it. I bet you could run 6 miles nonstop tomorrow.
It would be like a turtle pace. People would be passing me when they're walking on the sidewalk watching.
I cannot run 6 miles straight right now without passing out and needing air to breathe.
I mean, I almost died when I did my 5-miler like a couple weeks ago. That
You
sucked.
did a 5-miler a couple weeks ago. That was like 2 months ago.
It was not 2.
That was a long time ago.
It was this summer.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago.
It was like July.
June.
It was probably a little bit before July 4th.
It was like 2 full months ago.
It's not full. I did 5 miles, 11-minute pace, 55 minutes.
You can bike it. Stationary bike.
Oh, I did that on May 25th. God, it was hot that day.
Oh my God, it was a long time ago.
But my last run before that was June 28th, which was 2 years ago. So you could run 5 miles.
2 years ago?
You could run 5 miles in a 2-year break.
I did 5.17 miles on Saturday.
Train every single day, Alex.
What did you do, Alex? No.
5.17 miles at a 12-minute pace on Saturday.
Wow.
That was just hot off the press. And I walked a little.
I walked a lot in mine. You should be able to cover 5 miles on foot in under an hour. That should be your litmus test for endurance athleticism.
Oh, yeah, you can do that easy. That's a lot of walking.
If someone says you need to get 5 miles someplace, and you have to be able to get there in under an hour.
Yes, you could do it. No problem.
No,
You could walk.
It was a problem.
I think my fastest mile in that was like just under 9 minutes. We're talking like 8:59 was my best mile.
Classic start out way too hot, and you're like, oh, I can't
And then
keep
you
this
just
up.
burn out so quick. You're like, holy. So I was like, I walked mile 2 basically.
It gives me a reason to eat more, so I think this is a good thing.
At least just gives you something to work towards, even if you don't do it.
Just do the conditioning with your teams, Evan, for football in the summer. That's when you get in your best shape ever, is when football
They're
conditioning.
running, I'm just running. Basketball, they're running, I'm running.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Lead from the front. Guys, coach is puking.
So Evan doesn't have the resources to do it, and he's in. Grant, what's your problem?
I don't
wanna
have the
quit
resources.
strength training.
I don't want to.
You
I don't have the
to quit
resources.
strength training.
No,
You just
Evan
have to do
said we're
difference.
quitting strength training to do it.
You're not getting big anyways. Look at you.
And that's, well, first of all, hurtful. Second of all, think about that. I'm only focused on strength training, and it's a grind to put on weight. So
And
if
nothing's
I
even
cut,
happening.
No, I've gained like 15 pounds since I lived in Minnesota.
For what?
What do you mean? For what?
Like, for what? Like, what is this strength training for?
Myself. I just don't want to be wimpy.
But you still look wimpy.
Imagine hurtful. I imagine how much more it would look if I stopped it and just trained for a triathlon.
I think you can maintain your weight while leaning out.
I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Look at David Goggins' body the first time he ran 100 miles consecutively.
David Goggins, and Grant are not in the same sentence. He's a different human.
I just put you in the same sentence.
No, that's crazy. He was that big ever.
He did that on purpose. He used to power lift.
When he was his heaviest, he did
Yes,
not get that.
he was powerlifting.
Yeah, but I think he reached a point where it was like, okay.
Let me see if I can get a picture of Goggins here. And what you could look like, Grant. What year?
There's a New York
100
Post headline that says how this schlub transformed into a Navy SEAL, which is a mean headline. Schlub. Evan's thinking about his training routine. I can see it.
Mac.
I am trying to figure out how I have access to it.
Grant, how do I do a screenshot on a Mac?
Command Shift 4 and then drag over the part you
How do
want
I
to
just share
screenshot.
my screen? Let me just share my screen.
At the bottom of the thing,
I got
there's a little arrow up.
Oh, I got it.
I can finally see what it looks like when someone pulls theirs up. Does it look like someone's joining?
See this one right here?
Yeah.
This is Goggins running 100 miles.
Can you zoom in?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great chest. He's got a great
Click on the
chest.
picture, Gillen.
I did.
Right
Can you
click on
see
the
it?
picture and do open image in new tab.
I don't need to see it. I'm good.
It just keeps opening the same thing, dude.
Oh, your screen's like, I think it's frozen on that then.
Stupid.
It's fine. He's got a
Whatever.
huge chest. He's got great
He's
chest
jacked.
genetics. Anyways,
Reason to work out.
Alex is
Better reason to work workout.
Alex's update turned into something for us. So, Evan,
It did.
Well, not
You're up
Grant.
next.
He just said he's
Need
too
a
soft
sticky
and
note.
didn't want
Where's
to
my
do it.
sticky notes at? Lost them. Well,
Here you go.
I lost them, Alex. I don't know where mine are at.
no,
and
the
I
right
need-
Alex had him right there, dude.
Yeah, here.
Look up.
He stole them. Last time
Take-
he was here.
So I have my own right here, so you can have them.
Oh, he's got two.
Thanks. I'm gonna pull my
Bought a
iPad
pack
off
of
my
like
desk.
1,000.
4 seconds. What is in this?
Wow. So
blanket?
Evan's running a triathlon. Evan, you got a training regime already figured out in those last 4 minutes?
I'm gonna start working on it.
Half-hour swimming nonstop.
Let me know what
Not
your
just-
training regime is, so maybe I can try it, as you are an athletic
Okay.
trainer. Grant, it's never too late to join.
I know that. I might join the week before.
If you show up the week before and beat me, I'll be very pissed.
I don't think I would beat you. That would be embarrassing if I did.
It would be.
Alex, will you agree that we just finished at the same time together?
No.
Yeah, as long as you don't dust me in the run. You're going to dust me in the
Dust
run.
you in the run.
My plan is to dust you in the pool and you dust me in the run.
I'm
No.
actually a really good swimmer, and I know how to control my head and going back and forth. Like, people splashing doesn't bother me. Like, it sounds like it bothers you.
It doesn't bother me, but I could see myself panicking.
Evan, your week?
It's Olympic triathlon.
Olympic triathlon.
My week. During the week, nothing too special. This weekend, I got to play in a golf scramble. That was my first golf scramble I played in quite some time.
Wow.
That was enjoyable. We did way better than what we thought. We shot 14 under. Tied for fourth.
On 18.
Up on 18.
I'm 6.
I was like, if it was 9, that'd be insane. So I figured it was 18.
It was great. Then Monday on league, got smoked again on league.
Oh
Didn't
my
really care. We're in last. We finished last place.
You guys are like the tanking team in the NFL. Like week whatever.
Yeah.
You see Caleb Williams, but there's no one to tank for. So actually, there's nothing to
So-
gain from it.
Other than that, that is about it of my week. Golf and more golf now that and school starts Monday.
Taxes started yesterday.
Ugh.
Kind of crazy to think about.
That is kind of gross to think about.
Traffic is really ramping up.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How will we get by?
I mean, do we, other than Evan, do we get upset about summer ending now?
I do.
Or do we not? Or we get excited that football's starting and we don't have school?
I enjoy the mentality that summer brings.
Just asking. Just curious.
No, there's
I'd
definitely
agree.
days. There's definitely days where you're like, the dog days of August. But then you have to think about January. No, you got to think about like February 17th and how you're going to feel that day compared to how you feel right now. And you're going to take
Okay.
this day. February
I feel
17th,
fine.
you wake up. It's dark outside. It's going to be dark for another 2 hours.
No,
You have to. No, it's different for you, Alex. You live in fairy tale land now. We live in,
I guess.
the north. We live in Winterfell. Okay, it's a little bit different up
North.
here.
Love that.
get your fur coats out.
You
I started
walk out-
watching that again, by the way.
Nice.
I'm on
How about
season
that?
2 already,
Season
Evan.
6.
How about
We got
that
2 seasons left, basically.
First, you walk outside. There's like 6 inches of snow on your car. You can't feel your fingers.
I don't miss those days at all. Those are the worst days ever.
Correct. So I don't wish summer to end in this house. I do enjoy
When you
fall.
walk out to your cold ass car that's frosted over, you got to just sit in that car while it warms up. So miserable. There's nothing more miserable.
Your shoes get wet because you're not wearing boots to work, and it's just like
Ugh.
I hate everything about this.
Your nose is running. Your face is red. It's pasty white.
Oh my god. Pasty
Enjoy.
white.
You enjoy that.
Thanks. Evan, what are you writing?
Oh, Evan.
Sticky notes. for
Grant's
my
coming from
triathlon.
Butler, Houston. You know.
Oh my guys, if I have enough PTO for that. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't go, Alex. It's one trip
Sorry.
out of me.
See you and go Tigerland.
I'm going to have to budget my PTO. I got to do some number crunching then. Anyways, I didn't do a whole lot either to echo your guys' points. This was probably one of the first summer weekends this last weekend in a while where there wasn't something planned, which is actually nice. It felt like I could get caught up on all the things in your life that you need to do, like get an oil change, go to the eye doctor.
This is the
Then disappointment.
first weekend I was home in a month.
Yeah, it was a good feeling.
It's nice to do nothing.
I did watch 2 movies. One was new. Marissa wanted to see this movie that girls are raving about right now, based off a book with Blake Lively was in it. So I was like, all right, I'll go see it.
I heard it was terrible.
Oh, I saw that.
It was, I mean, it just wasn't a movie for me, but I could see how if you read the book and, you know, you're into that romantic style movie, like girls were just sobbing throughout this movie. Like it was bananas, like full on ugly crying, wheezing, audible gasp in the movie. And I was just sitting there in the back with my popcorn in my, I got a gripe with Paul Glantz now that I'm talking about it.
No.
Yeah.
The GOAT?
Yeah. I don't know.
Issue with the GOAT.
Big issue with Paul.
That's a lie.
I don't know if it's just the Rochester Hills location, but
100% is.
how do you not have peanut M&Ms to
Whoa,
buy?
that is a problem. That's
definitely the location problem because I went to Imagine for the Wolverine and Deadpool. They had peanut
As did I.
M&Ms.
And I ate peanut M&Ms.
All right.
Yes, you did.
They only had peanut butter and regular.
Oh, peanut butter's
Evan's favorite.
Peanut
very
butter's good,
option.
but it starts to melt in the popcorn, and then your fingers get a little gross.
Wait,
Melt
you
in the
put your
popcorn.
peanut
Like the
put
peanut
your
butter gets
stuff in the.
Yes, I dump my M&Ms in the bucket.
Doesn't this all go to the bottom?
No. Well, no.
I keep mine separate.
Well,
You do it-
I
you
keep
do
mine
it in-
separate. Well, I eat my popcorn so fast that
Yeah, I just hammer the popcorn first, and then you eat the M&Ms.
I got a
I
large.
was through 75% of my popcorn before the movie started.
What do you guys get? A medium?
Yeah,
I think I got a meeting because I had dinner before I left. That's why.
I ordered a large for this because I was really just going to focus on the popcorn, and I did. I got to like 25% left, but I felt so sick I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Do you feel nasty the next morning? That's when I feel the worst.
I felt
I always
like a
feel
little.
very
I felt
bad
the
after
sodium
I ate
in my
tons.
face. I just
Ugh.
felt it, and I got Mellow Yellow. It's my hero play at the movies because you never know if it's going to be good or not. But it
I
was
always
good.
get ginger ale.
What?
No, you don't.
I do.
That's a crazy move. And the Coke freestyle machines, you choose ginger ale.
Yeah, Seagram's.
No, you don't.
I swear to God,
You're lying.
that's serious. And that's my movie partner, Ben.
Wow. Is it only a theater thing?
I like ginger ale in general, but
Okay. Like on an airplane, you get ginger ale?
on an airplane, I get water.
I always get Coke. It's so tasty on airplanes. I don't know why.
The only pop I drink these days is Baja Blast if I get it. But I haven't
Stop
had Taco
drinking
Bell
that
in
if
a
you're
minute.
training for a triathlon.
I haven't had Taco Bell since I was in Tecumseh.
It depends on how hard you train.
No Taco Bell for a whole year, Alex. Cut
Justin
it out.
Jefferson eats like
I
shit.
don't know. You can have one. You can have one.
No.
Just work out harder.
I regret asking you to do it.
You asked for my training plan.
Okay, no Taco Bell. We'll see how long I can go. That first fall Saturday of college football, there's no way I'm not getting Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That'll be fantasy draft. We're eating
Ah,
Taco
yeah.
Bell fantasy draft.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I told you first fall Saturday I'll be hitting it.
Ugh.
All right, let's do Olympics quickly since we had some lengthy check-ins.
Steph Curry.
Correct, Alex. Had a really big game. I think he had 60 points over the last 2 games.
Dude,
That was awesome.
say the word. Unbelievable. That
It
guy.
was unbelievable.
It was pretty unbelievable watching
It was unbelievable.
It was. It was like, what, 4 threes in a row down the floor?
It's reminded me how much I love basketball. You just going bananas.
Know how much you love competitive basketball. There was a difference between
Yeah,
that style of
it's
play
true.
and the NBA style of play.
And they
That's
don't call
good.
How the NBA
anything.
play.
I love
That
Yes,
was
physical.
more competitive and more
It's
enjoyable
awesome.
to watch than what the NBA finals were.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
no.
the NBA Finals
depends on who.
stunk.
No, NBA finals have not been good.
No, Steph in Boston, like game 5
That
when they
was a good-
hated or game 6 when they hated Draymond, that was awesome.
That was good.
Okay,
Good
And
stuff. That was
The
good series.
Giannis alley-oop versus Phoenix was sweet. It was just like right after COVID, so no one really cared. But that was cool. And then
Yeah, but
obviously,
those games were more
The
competitive
Cavs
than most of the
Warriors
NBA finals
finals
games.
were good.
yes, the NBA Finals has had a lot of blowouts.
Like
You're
NBA finals,
correct
like
on that.
you get up like 15, and then the both teams just agree that like this game's over.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's true.
This year's finals stunk. I'll give you that.
Who was even in this series finals?
Mavericks Celtics.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was bad. I'll say this.
Celtics rolled.
I know this was going around. I think Portnoy was leading the charge, obviously, for the Celtics fans, but that were like saying they're going to root for France because of the Jason Tatum stuff. At first, I was like, that let's relax. But then I was like, if Cade Cunningham, like putting a crazy hypothetical that won't happen because the Pistons suck, but I was like, let's say Cade Cunningham just won an NBA title and was viewed as like a top 5 player in the league, and Steve Kerr was sitting him in games, I would for sure be saying Team USA. I would ride for Cade. I would ride for Cade Cunningham.
I would not say F Team USA. I would say
for France. Are you kidding me?
I would never cheer for France. I would never, ever in my life cheer against any other team besides USA.
Spitefully, I might be like, I would like them to be taught a lesson for not playing Cade. I can see how you would
un-American.
Cheer against the coaches.
But I care about the Pistons so much more than Team USA.
Evan was cheering.
I was. There was an assistant on the staff that didn't belong there.
He's been on it for a while.
Yeah.
But also, maybe Jason Tatum's just not as good as you think, dude. He wasn't even deserving of the Finals MVP. He was the 3rd best player in the Finals on his own team.
And if that's the reason he was set, that's fine. I'm just saying I can see how if I was a fan of that NBA team, I would be more backing that guy than the team.
Or fiction. In the NBA Finals, Jason Tatum was the 3rd best player on his team.
But we're not talking about the NBA Finals. We're talking about the Olympic team. We're talking about the Olympic team, Alex. Two different situations. Did Jason Tatum help your team in the Olympics more than Derek White can? True or false?
Derek White was barely playing either.
He got in during a very important stretch at the end of the 3rd quarter, and he gave up a bucket to the guy that he was guarding, came down, turned the ball over. Next possession, gave up a 3 to the guy that he was guarding.
The semifinal?
Literally in the finals at the end of the 3rd quarter.
The semifinals, the same thing happened. They brought in the bench.
The reason that Serbia got up to, or the reason France, no, it was the semifinal. The reason Serbia got up to 13 is because Derek White was in the game.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, there's no way, because realistically,
Derek White is not better than Jason Tatum.
We can all say, yeah, it's awesome that the games are so tight.
Halliburton.
Yeah, no, Derek White's the worst player on the team.
Halliburton was better two-way.
Yeah,
but that's not the argument.
We can all say that it's awesome that the games were competitive because it was, but like if you step back, there's no way the game versus Serbia should ever be that close. And I think that's the one where it's like, if you're not playing Jason Tatum, you can't find minutes for Jason Tatum in a game against Serbia where you won by like
down 17, 13 points.
Right. It's like, what are we doing here? We're like, there's some sort of weird vendetta, and then be like, the math didn't add up after the game. It's like, well, like, what are we doing?
So, he did play a little bit in that game. More than he had to in previous games. But, I mean, they were shooting well, unconscious from 3. They had that lefty shooter. The only one that he missed was probably the most important one in, like, the 4th quarter. Dwayne Wade just jinxed him.
You talking about Bogdanovich?
Announcers.
No, he had a lefty. Bogdanovich not left-handed. A lefty old guy.
Bogdanovich is the reason we won because he talked too much trash and then he pissed everyone off.
Oh, he deserved to talk trash. He was backpacking that team to victory.
He was. He was sweet.
He wasn't.
Noah Eagle, I don't know. I kind of liked him for football. I didn't mind him.
I like his voice.
There was a couple try-hard moments.
Horrible.
I don't think he's horrible either.
He's not horrible.
His big game calls, like the big moments, they need work. But there's potential.
Did he do the Nickelodeon game?
Yes.
It felt like he thought he was on the Nickelodeon playoff game. Like you know how they do the Nickelodeon NFL.
I know that they
games?
do that, but the fact that you even have like a tune over there just to even see who the announcers are is like a shocking grant.
Yeah, I've never
it's more
turned
from
the Nickelodeon game on.
The Twitter clips that you see, but
we know announcers. I've never turned the Nickelodeon game on live.
The only clips that I see from Twitter is SpongeBob or the Slime Zone. That's all I see.
Yeah,
SpongeBob's facing the goalpost.
But his kaboom, and then what was the one like something
Curry? It's cloudy with a chance of
Curry's. That was not. That missed really, really bad. So I noticed that. It's cool. as much as we talk crap about him, it's pretty cool. Obviously, Curry's his own thing, but it is cool to root for LeBron. Like, I can see how he has his LeBron fans because when you just watch him just bully people with a gray beard, it was like, I can see how if I was like a Cavs or a Heat or like LeBron sexual, I would really be insufferable because he's just so good.
Yeah, he's really good. His behind the back pass in the lane was naughty.
That was
naughty.
Disgusting.
It's like, you got to be kidding me, dude.
Yeah.
I was up and like 40. Cussing the teams out. Like the last 2 games, I was up and like cussing them out. Like it was like a Michigan State basketball game.
I was way too into it. From
the first moment of the Olympics, Evan's a full-on Olympic basketball sweat.
Yeah,
he hates NBA, but he loves
every
Olympics.
Game. I've watched every single game.
The guy for France, I know you probably won't sign him because he'll go somewhere better, but I would love Ubaselli or whatever to be a Piston. That was an animal. He was sweet.
He plays in Spain.
I saw someone tweet, they were like, I'll cut Isaiah Stewart today to make him a spot for him. It's like, well, that's a little mean, but I don't know. It's pretty good.
So who do you guys think the best player on Team USA overall throughout the whole tournament was? Feels like there's an answer. But.
The whole tournament, like going into the just group stage games, would have to be LeBron. But if you're talking about
Durant,
the most consequential moments, it has to be Steph Curry because you lose by 20 points if it wasn't for Steph Curry against Serbia.
Are you guys surprised that the 3 best players on Team USA were the old heads of Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James?
No, because they're arguably the top. They're 3 of the top 10 players of all time,
and they're still that good, though. Like I feel like that puts some doubts away that they're not that good anymore.
They are still that good.
Maybe not over 82 games they can't because they could just put it all into this summer run. But you can see how good they still can be in like a 10-game span.
LeBron still didn't shoot well. He did a lot of the other dirty work.
These are really good.
There's a couple times that I was
love to have him on the Pistons.
He was not boxing out. He was just they like to stand and watch on rebounds.
Do you think LeBron can make the Pistons a playoff team this year if he was on the team?
Yes.
Yeah, we'd for sure be like an 8 seed. We probably wouldn't even be in the. Well, I guess that is the plan, but we wouldn't be 9 or 10. The East is really bad. It's more a testament to how bad the East is.
Boston, Cleveland, Orlando,
Knicks.
I don't know. To your point, though, Alex, I was thinking about this. Like,
we compete with the Pacers, I guess. Bucks. We compete with the Bucks.
It was an awesome watch, but I don't know if like the 3 of them, like that's a testament to how amazing they still are. Like they still are. They can obviously shoot the ball, but like I'm not going to sit here and act like a France team that has 0 guards led by Gobert and like a kid that's 20 years old is like that means they're the best ever or like still amazing.
There's the best players on a team full of best players though.
But I guess my point is
stand out on a team of USA players that are all 25 and under stars.
Well, because we didn't get to see what it would look like without that. Like, I'm curious if you did a team where like the keys were given to Tatum and Anthony Edwards, would we win by more points or would we lose? I don't know. But like from the jump, it was clear that 100% they might get nervous in the big moment. But it was clear from the jump that it was like LeBron's going to be the point guard. Everything's going to run through him. And it worked. We won the gold. But it's like they also had 2 incredibly close calls. So it's like, I don't know. You could have gone young and maybe it would have been better. I don't know.
I would like to see the United States play Canada. We never got an opportunity to. Canada had a little bit more NBA talent. They did lose.
They did pre-Olympics. They played them
like the week before. Pre-Olympics, Alex.
They smoked them.
I would love to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play. And then you say, well, you have preseason to watch them play.
Boom, in your face.
Mahomes plays the whole game. That's what it would be like. It'd be like Mahomes played a whole preseason game.
I have a question for you guys on the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay. Curry, Durant, LeBron, are not on the team in LA. There's a chance that all 3 of them could still be playing.
Mm-hmm.
However, let's say they're not on the team. Who do you want as the 3 players, as the leaders of the U.S. Olympic team in LA at home in 2028?
Bronny. Chet. And Chet almost made the team this year. Probably haven't.
No, he did not probably almost make the team. Where are you coming up with that?
If one of the big guys that we took, the 4, couldn't go, you don't think he was probably the next man up? from American
men?
Big Men? Yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't think
No
so?
way.
He's going to be on that team
Although
next year.
JaVale McGee won a gold medal, so the big man pool is probably
Wouldn't
not that deep.
Evan Mobley have a better chance to make it over Chet?
Chet
I don't know.
Scott's
You tell
pretty
me.
Solid
I
this
don't
year.
know.
Okay, give me your three.
Tatum,
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, and
I don't know. I'm not.
I would love to be an NB and say Cade Cunningham. I would love to say that. I just don't know what's going to happen in 4
Naughty
years.
boy.
Jaylen Brown really should be on the team. I can't believe he wasn't on the team this year.
Yeah.
Derek White was unbelievable.
It was
That
more,
is
I think,
unbelievable.
it was a fit thing, I guess, from what everyone that knows basketball more was saying. It's just
Is
like
Drew
they
Holiday
wanted
going to be on the team in LA? I love him as a basketball player.
love Drew
Who?
Holiday too.
I just love Drew Holiday. How he plays basketball. It's awesome.
He might retire
Yeah, he
by
might
the
be too
time
old.
he's
Joel Embiid says he's playing for Cameroon.
good.
Cooper,
Good
Cooper
riddance.
Flag. Cooper Flag's him. It's going to be Cooper Flag.
probably will be on
He's
that
going to be
team.
on the team. It's 4 years
they-
from now.
he was like-
He'll
wasn't
already
he-
have.
He was busting that team up
bullying
in
them
practice.
Yeah, he was on the select team.
Yeah, he'll probably be our best player by that time.
Hell yeah. That's
I don't know.
exciting.
Anthony
So
Edwards,
what-
Jason Tatum, and I don't like Jason Tatum though. Who else is good that isn't foreign these days?
Like, does Zion or Ja Morant make the team?
Oh,
No. A Zion Ja Morant team though would be sick.
there'd be some headlines about some nightclubs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those are names that have a chance to make it. Like, Jaren Jackson has a chance to make it.
Jaren already played once.
I would like Jaren. It's crazy when I'm looking at the NBA top 100 list, and it's like, yeah, all these guys. I mean, Joel Embiid technically should be France. Like, we are even lucky, I guess, to have him on our team.
Cameroon.
Devin Booker. I'm sorry, Devin Booker.
Oh yeah, Devin Booker. That's so disrespectful.
He was sweet. He played a
player.
great role this year.
He did.
I like
Now,
Devin
here's a
Booker.
dumb one.
Did you see his tweet
He was-
resurfacing from like
Yeah,
last
of a
Olympics?
quote from Kyle Kuzma. He was like, "I'll do it," basically.
Yeah.
Did you see the video surfacing of him saying he was going to Michigan State to play basketball until the final hour?
It's just,
God, it hurts every time I watch
It's
it.
sad.
Chris Webber
Same
came
with
out and
wanting to
said
be
the same
drafted
thing.
by.
Chris Webber said he was a lock to go to Michigan State until somebody took a picture of him at like a recruiting visit somewhere.
This could be a dumb question, but why doesn't a guy like this year, I guess, Jimmy Butler, not make the Olympic team? I feel like he'd be a good player to have for that dog mentality.
He probably
I feel
rubs
like
people
they
the wrong way.
ask way more players, and I feel like some players probably just turn it down for like their body reason.
They cut Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard didn't get cut. The Clippers forced him to quit because of injury.
Sound with the Clippers GM.
Ja would be awesome. Ja is the wild card. We need him to be. He'll be 29 in 4 years.
I think Ja and Zion
Is Paul
could
George
bring
even
some
good anymore?
explosiveness. No, he's not making the team.
Hmm.
I could honestly see though Steph and LeBron running it back.
Is Anthony Davis
Dude.
still on the team?
I don't know.
How old is Steph? 36.
36.
Yeah, he's going to be the captain of the team.
They would
Ja
both it'd be
Morant
like their
gonna be
hometown
okay.
teams because San Francisco Bay Area would be in LA because the game would be in Inglewood.
40-year-old Steph and 44-year-old LeBron lead
Oh.
Team USA to victory.
I got a guy.
Give me some more names, Grant.
Jalen Brunson
Please.
should be our starting point guard in 4 years.
True. I 100% agree with you.
He'll be 31 though. I don't know. 31's not that old, I guess.
LeBron's
Depends on the
40.
shape you're- Yeah, but
Curry's
he's an
36
alien.
right now.
They're aliens.
Steph is 36. Look,
They're
KD's what?
aliens.
30.
Kawhi is older, and he was going to be on the team. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's like 38.
Alien. You're talking about like top 15 players of all time.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't think Kevin Durant's that old, but he's pretty old.
Alex, he was playing in college in 2007.
You can't compare LeBron to any basketball player.
Wasn't it 2007?
What LeBron's doing at the age of 40, even the biggest LeBron hater can't be like, holy impressive.
It's fun when you're rooting for him. It's awesome.
40 years old with a gray beard, just cooking guys. He's like
Playing
that
like-
movie that Kyrie did, Uncle Drew.
Yeah. Playing like every minute too. Like he doesn't sit.
Yeah.
Just plays every minute.
And he's jacked and he's still bullying people and still throwing down saucy dunks.
Saucy layups
Sick.
is what I saw.
Oh, dude. He had some nice dunks. He still can explode to the rim.
Oh yeah. He can explode all right.
Who wants to get in that way? He got
No.
jammed on, though.
Oh my god, he did.
He got posterized.
He got bodied.
He
That
did.
was sick.
He's not afraid to go up for it, though.
That was all. I had 2 audible
Trying to take a charge and turn his body.
The dunk and Steph's 3.
Was disappointed that you guys all had to text about when LeBron got dunked on. I was hoping we all just looked past it and just continued watching.
His team will definitely try to get that deleted from the internet, but it happened. Yes. I saw it.
Don't worry, Brian Windhorse is all over it.
Oh, Windy.
All right. I never would have thought in a million years we'd be 53 minutes into this podcast, and Evan is the biggest USA basketball fan this world has.
Yes.
Already planning for his leaders of 4 years from now.
Him and Bill Simmons.
Just learn to love the NBA, Evan. I know you want to.
No.
You like the players.
All right, let's move to football. Let's get into it for our segments for the show. First one,
football. We don't care who knows.
We do. This one should go fast. I think I was pulling up the divisions.
2 obvious teams.
Yeah,
couldn't be more obvious in my opinion.
I had one in my head, but I forgot about the other really, really bad team in the NFC, and I was like, oh, God, never mind.
So this is – I looked up the stacks. So I think, Evan, you said it at the end of the show or something, the whole worst to first thing. It's happened in 19 of the last 21 NFL seasons, which is not going to say unbelievable, but it's pretty crazy
AFC
to think.
Is the most obvious – worst to first ever. It's right in our face. It's the Bengals. Let's just not even sugarcoat it.
It's the Bengals. That's the only one.
Can you make a case for anyone else?
Tennessee.
Patriots, no.
Their division sucks.
I would say Tennessee,
let's be honest.
no.
You could say AFC South. I'm with Alex. We act like Houston's this new world beater. Yes, they got better, more talent on the roster, but they also did go 10-7.
They're not unbeatable.
Oh,
and they beat the Browns in the playoffs with Joe Flacco.
They'll probably win 11 to 12 games this year.
Correct.
What do we win this year? 12 and 5.
11.
We'll for sure go 12 and 5.
For sure?
For sure.
They also have the first place schedule now.
Yes, so they have they're going to play the Chiefs.
Out of my phone.
The Ravens. They're playing the Bills.
3 losses right there.
No.
Play the Lions.
And they play the NFC North.
They play every team. Yeah, we play them Sunday Night Football in Houston.
Oh, that's right. Jesus.
They play
it's almost like you live there.
All the teams in the conference championship weekend.
All right, well, they're starting out 5-1. So they're going to be off to a really nice start if the schedule is so hard.
Give me who they play.
They're
first 6 weeks, Shane?
At the Colts.
Versus
the Bears. Home Bears.
That game's on Sunday Night Football. It's a disgrace.
It is. At Vikings.
Loss. Sam Darnold.
Home Jaguars.
Jaggers.
Loss.
McJaggers are playing against.
The McJaggers. And then home Bills, you could say they lose, but it's at home. So advantage. So
it's
they
Von Diggs' revenge game.
And then at Pats. So I think they go 5-1.
I mean, they're losses. Lions, Bills, Chiefs.
The only they have their stretch after their bye week, which is week 14. So keep that on your fantasy football calendar. Right before your playoffs start, they have a bye week. They are home Dolphins, at Chiefs, home Ravens.
Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens 3 weeks in a row. They could lose all of them.
And they got screwed. They play the Chiefs on Saturday, the 21st, and they play the Ravens on Wednesday, Christmas Day. So they get 4 days to play. Yeah.
They're going to get smoked by the Ravens.
But I mean, they get the Titans twice. They get the Jags twice. They're at the Jets, at the Packers.
Jets could be a loss. Packers could be a loss. Lions could be a loss. Dolphins could be a loss. They could lose 7 games. They could go 10-7.
I'm not seeing 7 losses. They play the Cowboys, but I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that good this year. Little teaser.
So the Texans are going undefeated for Grant.
Okay. 12-5.
Okay. Other teams in the AFC that have a chance? No. There it is not.
My bias one would be if something clicked with Jimmy's team in year 1, but I don't think they have the talent skill-wise to pull that off.
0% chance.
Jump the Kansas City Chiefs in that division.
Yeah,
in year 1.
But they should be easily second based on the
injured Justin Herbert.
I
Broncos.
Think Raiders are another 500 team.
I could see.
The Chargers went 1-5 in their division last year, and the Raiders went 4-2.
Chargers got to at least go 9-8.
I don't see it.
Who's their quarterback the first few weeks?
Justin Herbert.
He's injured.
For how long?
I thought it was
Plantar
serious.
fasciitis.
I don't think he's
Downgraded.
going
They're
to
not
miss a
telling you how
lot.
serious it actually is.
I think it's pretty bad.
Well, that would be
He's
bad.
not practicing at all.
It's plantar fasciitis.
Well,
It's
yes, Alex.
intolerance.
If injuries, if they're on and he's out, then yeah, it changes everything. But if he's healthy and he plays, they still think they can go 9-8.
Okay. NFC.
In the NFC, if I had to pick a team, it'd have to be the Commanders. But I don't love any of them. I don't think any of these are real. You think the Bears could win the North?
No, but I think that they have the best chance of all the teams that are bad.
You think the Bears have a better
they have more
chance?
talent than the other teams.
So the Bears have a better chance to win the North than the Commanders do to win the East.
Yeah, because the Commanders don't have talent.
Yes.
All right. I like Jane Daniels.
Caleb Williams.
I like Jane Daniels too,
a
but
loser, but he's better.
Dallas is still going to be around 500, and Philly, I think, is improved. I think Philly's a 12-5 team, 13-4 team.
Who's Jaden Daniels throwing the ball to?
Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson,
Zach Ertz,
Keenan Allen,
Diami Brown,
DJ Moore, Cole Kmet.
Yeah, but I think
DeAndre Swift. Their offense is so much better than the
Washington's
Commanders.
defense is so much better, and that's the side of the ball that matters a lot in the NFL. And they got Dan Quinn coming in. He's a really good defensive coach.
Bears have Montez Sweat.
Yeah, but I also think the Bears' offensive line is a piece of Swiss cheese.
They lost to the Bears last year.
The Commanders' offense line is also a piece of cheese.
Okay.
And the Bears can beat Minnesota twice. So Giants have very good defense.
Well, the Bears beat us already once last year, so
I don't think the Bears are going to win the NFC North. But I think if I had to pick between the Commanders and Bears, who's a better team, I would pick the Bears.
I'm with Alex there. I'm not saying the Bears are going to even come close to sniffing first place, but
so you put those two teams on a field and
the Bears did have a winning record at home. Trash on the road, but they did have a winning record at home. They definitely didn't get worse in the offseason.
Commanders didn't even win a division game.
Yeah, it's true.
I lost the Giants twice, man.
That's tough.
Dallas and Philly, Detroit and Green Bay. See similarities for all four.
Okay, so we have Bengals are the team in the NFL, obviously. And then our other question was flip side, which is a little bit more eerie and interesting to think about, is who's most likely to go from first to worst in their respective conferences or for the league as a whole. AFC is tough. I think more league-wide you can try to find teams.
I think AFC, I picked one for the AFC, and I picked the Bills. Out of the AFC, the most likely team.
Out of the AFC.
Just solely because the Dolphins are still going to be the front runners in regular season. Jets get Aaron Rodgers. Does Buffalo have enough offensively still to maintain with everyone else? They're still going to play one of the toughest schedules because they're the first in their division. Obviously, I don't think New England will be anything, but I don't think New England's going to have 4 wins again, back-to-back years. I think it will be a little bit better.
Let's be very honest. Of the 4 top teams in the AFC, they're all one QB injury away from being last.
Yeah, but we gotta talk about it without injuries because that's any team.
That's how you predict.
Alex, Jets,
what NFL
Aaron
team?
Rodgers got injured and they went 7-10, so it's not like they were.
What NFL team is set up to be
would
successful with a QB injury? Like what team is set
saw
up to be
Sam
successful?
Howell ball out in the preseason, and Seattle might be better without Geno Smith.
Yeah, I was going to say Seattle probably.
The
Giants. Giants going from Daniel Jones to Drew Lock.
No, that would be worse.
Raiders have 2 starting quarterbacks.
The Broncos have 3 quarterbacks.
Steelers? Did you just say the Steelers?
I don't think so.
Steelers have 2 starting quarterbacks.
The Browns got better when Deshaun Watson got injured and Joe Flacco played.
Alex's brain is always thinking about injuries in these hypotheticals, and it's
this is what happens. That's how top teams fall off.
All right, well then let me ask the question with no injuries. Injuries are turned off for these hypotheticals.
The Buccaneers.
Well, I wanted to say something about the AFC.
Carolina's just still so freaking bad.
Yeah, Carolina is terrible, but
The most likely in the AFC, to me, honestly, and it's not a knock on the team, is I think the Ravens would be the most likely to somehow finish last because I think their division is the strongest overall, especially if you look at the standings there last year where Cincinnati went 9-8 and still finished in last place in their division, which is
I
crazy.
just don't know how a team that's so run heavy with Derrick Henry isn't going to finish last.
Pittsburgh makes the playoffs.
Their defense could go down.
Pittsburgh always makes the playoffs.
Yes, they did. If they have a Y next to their name, it means they made the playoffs.
Who did they play in the first round playoffs?
Was it the Chiefs?
They played the Bills or the Chiefs?
Bills. They got smoked by the Bills, and it was like on Monday, Tuesday. Got like pushed back because of the snowstorm. Yeah, no.
Or was that 2 years ago, Alex?
That was last year.
Or was it the one time during COVID when it got bumped to like a Wednesday?
It was like a weird like Tuesday game. Bills Steelers was like a Tuesday game.
Oops. Yeah. Monday, 1:15, wild card, 31-17. Oh. I was still sharing the screen. All right. For the NFC, you said Bucks. I think it's Dallas. I think Dallas could finish last. That's my...
Dude, the Commanders stink.
They're going to be better than last year, Alex.
I think...
how is... We can all shit on Dallas as much as we want, but they're still always good in the regular season.
I think this could be the year that starts to go south as hell because their wide receiver
every year.
Their owner said he's not in a rush to pay their star receiver, who's just sitting out right now.
He's sitting out,
and Dak's fine, but you're telling me Dak couldn't go 8-9 on a team that doesn't have a run game, and they just lost their defensive coordinator.
Commanders are going 9-8.
I think they could. I think they could
and
go 9-8.
The Giants are going 9-8.
Well, Commanders could go 8-9. They all could go 8-9.
Dallas would have to win 7 or less games.
Oh, they just tie for last place, Alex.
I legitimately think Dallas could be bottom half of their conference.
I'm with Grant.
I don't. Yeah. I think it could be the start of the downfall for their all their contracts.
Play us. They have to play Tampa. Okay, they have to play the 49ers.
Do we think Tampa's good? They're not going to win their division.
Tampa's the other one, but like Evan said, I just don't see how Carolina I don't think could go 9-8.
I don't think Carolina got better this year. I don't think they did.
No, they sold their best defensive player, Deontay Johnson. They added. Good for them.
Okay, they're going to be shitty. Yes,
Clowney's on their team.
Really?
Yes.
But like of these choices, I think Dallas is a better team than the Bucks, but I think the conference or the division makes it so I say Dallas could realistically finish in last place.
Our bias classes aren't on. The Lions could possibly finish last in the North.
No, the Vikings, respectfully.
Yeah, the Vikings don't have a quarterback.
Correct.
Didn't last year though either.
But they got off to a decent
start.
And
they tied for last.
Made them for 7-10.
7-10 though. Could you see the Doomsday Lions going 7-10?
They were like
absolutely not.
5-8 or something. 5 and
then they went 2-2 their last.
Injuries off, the Lions cannot go 7-10. It's mathematically impossible.
Yeah. Well, could happen, but
we're going to be. I'm looking at the schedule now. You at least have
what AFC division do we play?
South. So that's 3 free wins.
Just assuming.
Correct. Yep. At Colts.
I like the confidence. But.
At Colts on November 24th will be a home game. The Jags at home. I mean, we just kill them every time we play the Jags at home.
God, we get to go to Wild Beaver Saloon. I'll see you guys there.
Vikes twice. We'll beat the Bears once.
You think we're going to beat the Vikings both times?
We should.
Doesn't mean we will win every single one of these games. We lost to the Bears. We should have got swept by the Bears last year.
Correct.
All right. Just saying.
No, it won't be us. Not to finish last. It'd be super embarrassing.
No chance the Niners finish last. Their division's not bad.
Well,
they've got a solid division.
I don't think the Cardinals have enough.
Yeah,
Cardinals will have more than 4 wins because Kyler will play a full season.
I think they'll be a lot better. The Cardinals.
Injuries off, the Niners can't finish last. I was more thinking about the drama with the holdouts and now probably trading Ayuk because apparently a deal's like done, but someone's got to sign off on it.
49ers have to sign off on
it. They can't be worse than Arizona. I do think Seattle's going to be sneaky good this year, or like solid. I'm buying Seattle stock.
Like every year? That's not a spicy take. They're like the Steelers of the NFC.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like it's a new era. Like Pete Carroll's no longer there, and they didn't make the playoffs last year. But like if you told me they finished 10-7, like the Rams are 11-6, I wouldn't be surprised.
They finished 2-4 though in their division. Their only 2 wins were against Arizona.
They got some work
I
to
believe
do.
the Rams were 5-1 in their division.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your worst to first to worst. Switching to college football now for Alex. I'll try to get FanDuel loaded here. Just give me a second. I'll tee it up. So what we're doing for this, calling your shot, one side of the coin, finding someone that's plus 200 or longer odds to make the college football playoffs, expanded to 12 teams. And the other side, finding someone that's most likely to miss the playoffs that has minus odds. So that's favored to make the playoffs. Okay, FanDuel.
Michigan
Wolverines. I think they're plus money right now.
Jack Tuttle, baby. Is that really gaining steam?
No, my Alex Orgy will be the starter.
Oh, wow. That was confident. You back on the blogs?
I read some articles recently.
Oh, yes.
I read Sports Illustrated articles that like people go to practice, or they also subscribe to the blogs and they just say what people at practice say about the team.
Just reading about the blogs through the other blog boys.
Yeah, I'm not paying for anything. It's just follow beat reporters, see what they say about the team. Just like the Lions, it's just hard to get info because college football is like North Korea. You can't really get anything from them. That's the hard part about college football, is it's hard to find things out. We had to wait, last year was the first year of injury reports, or the year before that?
Last year. And the Big Ten was their first year.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Are we doing the minus guys first or the plus guys first?
Oh, that sounded like a bird chirping. That was cool, Evan. Let's do the minus because I think it's obvious.
So easy.
I don't know if you guys... Yeah.
It's so easy.
So there's only 1, 2. So for people that are listening, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams to pick from. That goes from Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State are all minus odds to make. Oh, and Ole Miss. I'm sorry. All minus odds to make the college football playoff this year. And we have to pick which one we think is most likely to miss the college football playoff. Evan?
Penn State. It's obvious.
I
James Franklin's the head coach of a Penn State University team. He's not making anything worthy.
You guys are going to like this.
He gets to escape Ohio State. Doesn't have to play him in the regular season. No, he gets to escape Michigan. Sorry, take that back. He gets Ohio State at home. But it's still like... I get that there's 12 teams. And there's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, so there's 6 spots available at large bids.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm counting the 5 conference winners, and then Notre Dame's automatically can get in because it's their brand. No matter how many losses they have.
That's just not true.
And then like a mid-major, so there's technically 5 spots to get open. I just don't see Penn State being one of those 5 best teams. Because I know for a fact Oregon and Ohio State will be in the college football playoff. That's just guaranteed.
Alex,
I don't agree.
For
reasons that make sense, I think.
I'm having an internal battle because Penn State was my answer coming into this, but I remember an article I read on The Athletic where they took like during the 4-team playoff era, they basically looked at the final standings and like how the conference things work and said who would have made the playoff if it was 12-team. And I'm pretty sure Penn State made it every year if it was a 12-team playoff.
They're always like...
So they do have that going
12.
for them. And I'm looking at their schedule again, and I really only see one like loss I feel confident about. And you could make the case they lose at USC. But outside of that, I don't see how they're losing the 3rd game. And if they only have 2 losses in the Big Ten this year, they're probably making the playoff.
Lost to Illinois in 9 overtimes.
That's true. We were in a pumpkin patch. Never forget.
Okay.
All right.
Do they have talent on their team? Yes. Do they have a returning quarterback? All of that stuff. Good run game. No doubt. But
new offensive coordinator from Kansas. Helpful.
But
They did lose their DC.
I just don't see how that is a matchup well, though. Like, Kansas who had like a mobile quarterbacks, and then you're bringing in Drew Aller, who's 6'6", and just
Power
your
run.
typical.
Powell
He's
be
not
your
a
guy.
runner, though.
He'd be your
Will
favorite
Howard's a
quarterback
runner.
if he ran.
He probably could be.
He's huge. Did you love Tim
Drew Aller
Tebow?
has a good arm.
That sounds like no.
I didn't.
Too young? You didn't
Not that I was
have your
too
love
young.
of QB power yet.
Not too young, too.
I
We were
didn't
definitely
have-
watching.
I love Tim Tebow now because I love watching the Florida's offense back then. But at the time, I didn't like Tim Tebow because of the publicity that he got. He's too popular.
That's true. You have a threshold, like a crazy hot scale, where you
Yep.
love QB power, but if Will Howard starts showing up on the covers of magazines, you're going to turn on him so fast.
Yeah, if he wins the Heisman, I'm going to be like, yeah.
Because I was watching Swamp Kings finally. I watched that, and I was like, God, Tebow is the man. I remember being like, this is the coolest football player ever.
All right, what was your pick?
Well, I guess I 180'd myself, and I'm going to go Notre Dame. Because we know they're losing week 1 to Texas A&M. So there's a loss. And I'm just thinking, if they have 2 losses without a conference title, they might get left out. But Evan says the
So I wanted
brand
to
is too
ask-
strong.
Scroll
But-
down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit and just ask yourself, does Alabama have a better quarterback than Penn State?
Yeah, but that's not what this is about.
Alabama does, yeah.
If you have a better quarterback than other teams, you're more likely to have more wins.
But it's the schedule. With
All right,
Penn
is
State.
everyone ready to hear me
But Penn
out?
State it's college football. Penn State can lose to anybody.
Evan's going to get pissed, so let me just get this out. Okay?
Texas.
I'm picking Texas. Just hear me out.
All right.
Hear
I'm
me
hearing
out.
you.
They could lose at Michigan. Everyone agree? They could lose
can't,
that game.
Alex. Jack Tuttle's the starting quarterback.
They could
Alex
lose at
Orgy.
Michigan.
They could. They could.
Well, Alex,
They-
I'll give you one step if you want more fuel to the fire.
No,
To
just
Texas.
let me finish.
Well, you probably don't have this breaking news.
Okay. If
Did
there's
you watch
They're
college
R&B.
football? Did you watch
I
college
did not
football
watch
final
college
today?
football live today. No.
Texas
Mark
has
May?
3 healthy running backs because they had 2 running backs go down this week with like almost season-ending injury. Just FYI.
Okay. Okay.
The one
Well,
kid, though, that they have
helps.
left, the Jaden Blue kid, he's really good. So they at least
He
have
is
that
really
going
good,
for him.
but the other
Okay.
2,
They could lose to Michigan. Everyone agrees besides
Got
Evan.
it. They could lose.
No.
They could.
They could lose
Could
again
not.
to Oklahoma.
Yes.
I
Crazy
agree with
game.
that.
They've
They
been
lost
proven to lose
Oklahoma
that
last
game.
year.
They can lose to Georgia.
Yes.
They will lose to Georgia.
That's
Was
3
it at
losses.
Georgia or is it at
potential.
Texas?
It's home, but they could lose that game.
What a
They're
game.
not losing to Michigan.
They could.
And this one's
Texas doesn't show
controversial.
up, yes.
At Texas A&M is a humongous rivalry. They
Oh my
could
God.
lose the final
That's
week
going to
of
be the game of the
season.
year. That could be 4.
They could lose 4
They're
games.
not losing to Texas A&M.
I don't think they lose 4 games, but if you told me they lose 3 of those 4 games, I wouldn't be stunned.
If
And
they
I
lose
think
3
Penn
I wouldn't
State's going
either.
11-1.
If they lose
I wouldn't
those 3
either.
games, they're still making the playoff.
But 11-1 Penn State is making the playoff.
I gotta find my
Yes.
Penn State schedule.
There's not. There's 2 max.
Michigan State,
No.
West Virginia. The first week at West Virginia. What are you talking about?
They smoked West
In
Virginia
Morgantown.
last year.
That would be a great atmosphere. But I
gonna
think
lose that
It
game.
would
Penn
be a
State
great
wins.
atmosphere.
That's a game
There's
they win
a
by
difference,
10.
Alex.
They win by 10 late. They score a touchdown
West
late. They win
Virginia's
by
not
10.
even good.
They could slip up to Wisconsin.
Sure. They could. But would you bet on it? No.
Sure. But
Ohio State's a for sure loss.
Well, it's
Yeah.
home, though. Is it a whiteout? If it's a night game whiteout, throw the rest of
probably
the out.
Noon
Big
kickoff,
noon.
isn't it?
Well, not in Stone yet because they have to do the lottery for those games.
just
But
saying, Texas's schedule is a lot harder.
Well,
Significantly
that's the same
harder.
week as Oregon, Ohio State. So probably not.
and Ole Miss, LSU then.
And
Penn State, USC. Penn State, USC.
Texas lost
Oh.
a lot of their defense. We already went over that last week. I don't know. That Big
Not to
House
s-
game could be a huge determiner.
It's gonna be the biggest game.
Determinant of Texas's season.
It's
They
the
have to
biggest
win that
non-conference game this year by far.
Yeah, Texas has to win that game. Michigan doesn't, technically. I think
Yeah.
Michigan has a better path to get in with losing than Texas losing because,
Well, they
They're-
both have
they're gonna
huge games
lose.
left. They both have huge games left.
yeah, both of those teams I would be worried about just because their schedules.
We're just in uncharted territory because we have no idea if the committee's going to look at a 9-3 team that got lost to
Over
3 top 10
11-1
teams,
Penn State.
and they're going to go, yeah, let's reward them. We have no idea. And Ward Manuel is not the director of this, so we have no idea what the morals of.
Thing. People are still going to bitch and say there's SEC bias because there should be. It's just plain and simple.
100%. There should be more SEC and Big Ten teams in the playoff every year than ever before.
There will be. There's going to be
actually
3 Big Ten teams. 4.
It's actually ironic. I was listening to Josh Pate earlier today, and he's made this point a lot because he liked the 4-team playoff, I think. I don't know if it was exactly 4 teams, but he liked smaller. He made a good point. He's like, everyone thinks the 12-team playoff opens up more opportunity, which it does to make the playoff. But we're probably going to have even more like consistent champions because there's no way like a TCU, for example, would win like 2 to 3 games. Yes, they could beat Michigan because JJ threw 2 picks. And they have a chance to win a title.
They lost their conference championship the last game that they played. They just got a month to prepare for Michigan.
Yeah. Whereas this, it's like the Georgias, the Bamas, like the cream of Ohio State is going to rise to the top and probably win 3 games. So
and that's what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was looking today and saw that there's 11 playoff games that we get to watch, it's hard not to be a little excited.
It'll be an exciting product.
It'd be awesome.
It's going to be an exciting product.
Games.
Home
11
playoff
football
games on campus? Are you kidding me?
But in year 4, though, when we're like, wow, these like all SEC finals are getting a little old, which we've already been used to that. People are like, oh, it's not that different than the 14 playoff. Because I think
the rematches are just over and over rematches.
The onside Georgia and Alabama are gonna be sick, dude. What do you mean?
Georgia and Alabama for the 8th year in a row.
All right, give me the +2 hundos.
Well, the one thing I want to say, now that we were schedule peaking, you could make the case, if you're on Team Elko, like Alex and I, that if Notre Dame loses week 1 to them, they could lose to home versus Florida State, night game. They realistically, I think they would win that at home, but you never know.
I think they win one of those 2, probably.
And then they finish the year at USC, and if USC is starting to figure things out and they're playing better at the end of the year, USC could win that. So they could have 3 losses, and the 3 loss Notre Dame I don't think would be in based on their conference and their schedule.
No.
In fairness, Notre Dame's like offensive line is like super young. They have like a combined like 30 starts under their belt. Like combined of all the 5 starters.
Oh.
Do we think it's safe to say that a 3-loss team is probably not getting in? There will be enough 2-loss, 1-loss undefeated teams?
No, I don't feel safe saying that.
I'm not going to die
9-3. Imagine going 9-3 8 years ago and you get to play in the playoff.
If that 3rd loss is a conference title game, that's going to when people get pissed off because it should not count against you to go play and lose in a 2-loss team gets to sit at home.
That's not 9-3. That would be 10-3. That means they went 10-2 in the regular season.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, but 3 loss, I guess. Yes,
I'm thinking 9-3. You're not playing in the conference championship game, and you're going to the playoff. Like Brian Lewerke led Michigan State to a 9-3 season, 2nd in the Big Ten in the East. And you telling me they could have made the playoff?
I would be starting a petition and rallies for Michigan State to be in that playoff game.
It's going to give so many people
50-0.
It's going to give so many people hope.
So when Michigan State and Aiden Childs go 9-3 this year,
yeah, but Alex, we beat Saquon Barkley. We beat James Franklin that year. We deserved it.
Yeah, well,
no. We beat Michigan that year. We deserved it. Lost to Notre Dame. Lost to Northwestern.
All right, let's move to the plus odds. So there's a couple of teams in purgatory here that we're not talking about. That would be Bama, LSU, Michigan, Florida State, Missouri, Tennessee. So our criteria starts plus 200 or higher. It starts with Clemson as the main team here. You got Miami, Florida, Utah, A&M, Kansas State, Boise State. Holy shit. Liberty.
Well, because one non-power 5 team has to make it.
Non-power 5. That makes sense. Because they're the team. Them and Liberty are like, what the hell are we
ranked
doing? NC State. Holy
non-power
cow.
4.
What about NC State? That's nuts.
The ACC is wide open besides but Miami has a really good track record, I guess. I don't trust Mario Cristobal, but I have 3 teams that I wrote down.
I think I did 3 too, Evan. I like that.
I did 3. My first one, and I think most common one that should be, is Oklahoma State.
Oh.
You pick Oklahoma State or Kansas State because they're the 2 top favorites, and some team out of the Big 12 is going to make the playoff.
But you're a Utah guy.
I am a Utah guy. I have them in the top 10, but if we're still at odds, the
Yeah.
odds and value here, I think like those two teams are potential.
Where is Oklahoma State? Oh,
They're
plus
plus
700. That's
Yeah.
spicy value.
Like Oklahoma State's ranked, and they play in the weaker Big 12. Top two teams are out. Oklahoma State's
One of the
played
best
in
running backs.
Oklahoma State's played in multiple Big 12s over the last couple of years, with Texas and Oklahoma in the conference still. So Mike Gundy's
True.
still a very good coach. They have one of the best running backs.
Drink and
They don't
drive
ca-
like 1,000
they don't
times in his
care.
life.
Yes, a couple of beers doesn't hurt if you're driving. So that's like my best like value, and like because like I said, somebody has to win that conference.
Good point.
All right. Alex, you want to take what was your first team? Or
Well,
team that
last
you wrote down?
week I ranked Oklahoma
Mhm.
in my
I
top
see him
10.
right there.
So they have to be one of my picks for sure. I
I'm
have
more
three
in on them.
teams.
I like Oklahoma a lot. You know, actually, if you're a betting man, their win total is only 7.5.
I think they
So
go over that
if you
easy.
believe in Jackson Arnold, hey Arnold, then you should.
I do.
People should be on that. Tough schedule though.
Also, if A&M beats Notre Dame, I like their chances as well. And then my sleeper team is the Jeff Brom Louisville team. Who, you know, people forget late in the season last year they had a chance. They were still in contention to make the playoff, a 4-team. So
Yeah.
their schedule is not too bad. They play at Clemson.
Who did
and
they
at Notre
beat
Dame.
late to like they ruined somebody's season?
They
didn't
beat
they?
Notre Dame, didn't they?
They beat Notre
Yes.
Dame. No, don't log me
Let's
out.
see. They lost to Florida State in that terrible. They lost to Kentucky.
Oh, that was the game. Kentucky ruined their season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They did. Kentucky ruined Louisville's season. Good rivalry.
Well,
Okay,
Louisville
then.
upset somebody like a Friday night though.
I'm trying to look.
So
Early-
people only
They
game
beat
on
Notre
TV.
Dame. They beat Notre Dame by
Yeah.
13.
Yep, that's who it was.
All right, my team is going to be the chalk one. My first one was Miami, Florida, just because I'm on them. I'm putting my flag in their sand this year, and it might blow up in my face, but I'll take them. And then a couple other ones, they're interesting. When you look at this, if you're just betting money, I don't know if you guys have seen Liberty's schedule, but they are probably a relatively safe bet based on who they play. They play Campbell, the Campbell Camels to start the season, which I don't even know if is an FBS team.
FCS.
New Mexico State, UTEP,
New Mexico State was
East-
good last year.
New Mexico State, the Aggies.
Do you remember who they beat?
I don't remember.
Beat
New
all
Mexico State?
They beat Peyton Thorne, dude. What do you mean?
Oh,
UTEP's
All
got
right.
Dave Warner's their offensive coordinator. You
I think
never
New
know.
Mexico
Grant.
State won 10 games last year.
okay, so there. They got East Carolina, who's been down. Their biggest game is at App State. So they have Appalachian State.
No, New Mexico State is good.
They get FIU, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. We're talking like FCS teams. Middle Tennessee, UMass, Western Kentucky, and Sam Houston State. So
I
and they
just
have
need to
their
say something.
they have their quarterback
Well,
from last year who was wanted in the transfer portal. So I think
This
if
is
you're talking
thing
about
where,
the
like,
team that's going to make it,
I bet they lose to New Mexico
It's like
State.
the college football playoff, though, is still going to just like rank other teams with tougher schedules higher than them. Like they
But
might be
one
undefeated,
team
but
has
they're
to
just going
make
to
it,
get
though.
shafted. They're
But
just gonna
one-
get
there'll be
shafted.
another G5 team that they'll rank higher.
I think so.
It'd have to be Boise State. I
Is it
don't know
still
who else
group
is
of
doing
5,
this.
even though it's the Power 4?
I think so. 'Cause
Power
there's still
4
five.
There's not 5.
Well, like, no, Pac-12 does not count in the Liberty tier. They're the Pac-12. They're just they don't get anything.
so it's
Kirk
the
Herbstreit
Power
told me
4 in the
today
group
that
of
the-
6. Pac-12 has 2 teams.
Right.
Yeah, but there's 5 teams that. Well, there's one conference champion that's going to get left out and be the 5 seed.
Notre Dame.
But wait, like the American
Notre Dame's not in
Conference
the conference.
is the American Conference in the G5?
Yes.
Are they that tier?
Look up Kirk Herbstreit. Like I
The
was
Power
watching
4
Kirk
is the
Herbstreit.
Big 10, SEC, ACC, Big
Look
12.
up the
know
college
that.
football rules right now, Alex. Go now.
And
I know
then
that.
that's the 4
But
buys.
like, if Memphis has a good year, are they the team that takes the Liberty spot, or is Memphis a different thing?
No, that they're all everyone that's not in the Power 4 is in the group of whatever. I don't know what the number is anymore.
I got you. Because there's
But
4
if you're not
buys.
in the Power 4
Big 12,
conferences,
ACC, SEC, Big 10.
the best you can be is the 5th seed.
All right, that makes sense. But I think if Liberty goes undefeated, they're going to be in. Even if Memphis or someone else has 2 losses, you're just going to put Liberty in.
They'd be the highest ranked. It's the highest ranked non-Power 4, non-Notre Dame team. That is in there. That Notre Dame caveat is in there.
Yeah, but Notre Dame can't be the 5th seed. They have to be 6 at best. Is that right?
5th. They can be 5th.
They could be 5th.
I thought I saw today that they can't be.
New Mexico State beat Auburn last year 31-10. Crazy.
And then Auburn almost beat Alabama. Should have beat Alabama.
Would have been the best
great
sport of its life.
Look up like Kirk Herbstreit, like explaining the bracket.
Notre Dame can definitely be 5.
Can't be seated higher than 5th, but they can be 5th.
They probably will be 5th most years if they are good.
If they're good, they'll be 5th. And then the next team will be... I don't think the group of whatever team it gets a good ranking. They'll probably just be 12.
Yeah, probably. They'll just
I don't
get
think
thrown
they
to the Wolves.
have any control.
Go play the 5 seed.
Unless it's like Oregon State, if like they beat Oregon or something. But I don't see that happening.
The other team, to Evan's point about the Big 12, one sleeper, because I think they have a really good quarterback, Iowa State. If you're just talking about long shot plus 850 with the Rocco dude they have at quarterback, I don't know. You might want to take a chance on Iowa State for a couple bucks.
Kansas State's always pretty good. Why don't we talk about them?
Evan muted, but Evan did mention him. But they're plus 280. They're not as much of a long shot. They're like right there.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Oklahoma State.
Okay, the video that I watched today says the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
Does that include Notre Dame or no?
Notre Dame's not in a conference.
I know, but I'm pretty sure Notre Dame can be 5. I just read it. That's NCAA
5
25.
conference champions. Well, they showed this on ESPN today.
This
ESPN
says I'm
Bet.
reading ESPN article. The 5th conference champion will be seated where it was ranked, or at number 12, if it is outside the top 12 rankings.
So they don't get to be ranked 5.
No, the 4 highest ranked conference champions will be 1 through 4.
Oklahoma would have been in the playoff last year.
The 5th conference champion will be seated where it was ranked.
Oh, no, they wouldn't have.
There you go, Grant. They just explained it to you.
So you are right. They
all conference champions are making the playoff.
Yes, but
the 4.
The fifth one doesn't get a bye, and they can be ranked wherever.
Correct. And
What
if
is
they're
the
ranked,
5th conference?
5 highest ranked conference champions
Okay,
of all
that
the other
makes sense.
conferences.
So the 4, they all make it, and then the 5th is like a
Would be-
Liberty or
So the other, whatever the other 6 conferences, whoever the highest
the
ranked
MAC, potential.
Probably
conference
the-
champion is.
Probably be like an AAC team, maybe. I don't know.
American.
team, I would assume.
Boise State.
You know who
What
could be
conference are
good?
they in?
You know who could be good as well in this Big 12? Big 12 might be the most interesting conference. The UCF could be nice. They got that kid from Arkansas, KJ Jefferson.
Yeah.
I feel like
Good
UCF
Comes
could
on
be
offense,
sneaky
too.
good.
Quarterback power, Grant. They're talking
They
about
got Gus
quarterback power.
Malzahn, don't they?
Yeah, I kind of like UCF at plus 700 to just flirt around in the Big 12.
Michigan State should
What's your
switch to the
schedule?
Big
They
12
could
this
play all
year
the
and see what
ranked teams,
happens.
though.
They definitely play some Florida teams. They always do. But
I'm
Big 12
grateful
is
for the
gonna be-
SEC, Big 10, massive TV money, but like being in the Big 12 for football first season wouldn't be terrible. You'd have a much better shot.
they got a pretty nice schedule, Evan. They got the biggest game. They have New Hampshire, Sam Houston State, at TCU, home Colorado, at Florida, home Cincinnati, at Iowa State, home BYU, home Arizona, at Arizona State, at West
Arizona.
Virginia. Then they get home Utah
Arizona's
to end
already
the
in the
year.
Big 12.
Arizona's good.
Yeah, they had their biggest game of the year, home versus Utah, as the last game of the year at 8 p.m. on a Friday night. So that's big for UCF.
Forgot Jed Fish left Arizona for Washington.
And the only Florida team they play is Florida, which is the team you'd want to play of the other Florida teams this year. So that's pretty nice for them.
I think Florida, I guess, Middle-ish.
Florida plays every Florida team, basically.
Play
Florida
Miami,
plays
Florida State,
everybody.
UCF.
Florida's on
And
everyone's schedule.
The Swamp
we
Kings were awesome. Yeah. No, Florida's got a nice little stretch.
FAU, after they beat Michigan State in week 1, they're going to be flying high as a team that could make it.
Fighting Tom Herman's, you never know.
Yeah, I looked at that today. I was starting to get ready for week 1. I was like, Tom Herman's the coach there. No shit.
Who's their
Doesn't make me feel
They were
good.
4-8 last year. Looking for a bounce back here.
Probably lose to them.
All right, Alex, speaking of Michigan and Michigan State, let's do our last segment. Let's do a couple minutes on. So I wrote down some questions. I have some things.
Oh, great. I have answers.
First of all, I wanted to look at, since we're on gambling, the over-under win totals for our teams, what they're set at, and what you think is realistic. We'll start with Michigan State. Their over-under is 4.5 wins. It's juiced to the over, though, at -154. So they're giving a little edge to thinking that MSU wins 5 games. If you had to bet, what would you do?
Over. I think they get to 5 at least.
I think so, too. I don't have
This
it
is
in
a
me to
6-win
play contrarian.
If they win only 4 again. God,
Look at the last 4 games, so they're all winnable.
Love college football. Evan just straight. This is a 6-win team. Like, put some respect on our name.
It's the schedule's too easy to think that they won't win 5 games. There's a 4-game gauntlet, but the rest of the 8, you can't win 5 of them.
When you start
Maryland's
looking at them, though,
has anybody answered that yet?
Mike Loxley.
No, because I just played against them in NCAA and they scored 52 points on our shit defense. It's tough.
I mean, you got Florida Atlantic. You got it. That's a sub 2 touchdown spread, but you got to think you win that game. It may not look pretty, but you got to win that game.
Has to be a win. Has to be a win.
But you go into Maryland in week 2.
Gotta be
my
win.
thoughts. You know my thoughts on Maryland. Alex thinks they're scum. I think they're a solid team.
Gotta be a win.
Regardless, you should be 2-1 after your first 3 weeks. You're going to beat Prairie View, so you're 2-1.
100.
I don't know anything about Boston College. I know it's a red bandana game, which is not good for you guys.
They were
not good.
They're rebuilding. Every good player they had transferred.
Their coach left for the
Bill
Packers.
O'Brien.
Oh my God! Just putting Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien's their
coach went to be the defensive
coach.
coordinator of the Packers.
I don't think they'll be ready, but that's a classic. Like, go to Arizona
Bill O'Brien was
State.
the offensive coordinator for Ohio State for a day.
Do you remember
It was a great
at Arizona State? Tom, what's his name? Herm Edwards. It's like first year we go there, they were dog shit, and we lost to them. That's what this feels like. Could easily
know.
They had Jaden Daniels.
They did have Jaden Daniels and that first round receiver.
Nikhil Harry.
Yeah.
And Brandon Ayuk.
And Brandon Ayuk. Is that true?
Oh my God!
Wow, they were way better than I thought. They had a Heisman Trophy winner and a top 15 NFL wide
Alex, it's like when we lost to BYU at home. They had Taysom Hill and Jamal Williams in the backfield.
We got smoked by them.
Did you guys actually?
Yeah,
Yes.
we got killed by BYU at home.
It was our 3-9 year. They came in and just
pushed us around. It was
they
embarrassing.
soaked us pretty good. Those Mormons soaked us.
Embarrassing.
Or like Utah State almost lost. Like, oh, that was Jordan Love. No wonder.
Yes.
Yeah. I think though they should win Maryland or Boston College. They should win one of those games.
Okay, so we'll give you 3-1. Then you have your 4 losses in a row, I would say.
We're beating Iowa.
I don't
Are you
know.
hearing the news reports out of Cade McNamara and Iowa's offense?
I have.
Yes.
My
But-
God, they look bad.
Spin zone. If he's that bad now, that makes it more likely they go to the second guy who has to be better. So that's not good
don't
for
We
you.
think
saw
so.
him
Then why
last year.
add-
He was terrible.
That kid transferred. The Chubb Scout, the linebacker transferred.
Yeah, no, correct. Their second guy is not that backup Alex.
Oh, God,
He's
that guy
it's a new guy
sucked.
we don't know.
Let's
but he's
just
probably better.
remember, Grant. Is this
Tim
game?
Lester's their
this game's
offensive
at home?
coordinator.
Yes. It's homecoming.
Iowa's at home.
Michigan State was a Cooper DeJean punt return away from winning last year.
From
with
beating
a
them last year.
terrible team and Harlan Burnett coaching.
Went for it on 4th and 1 in our own area.
And I'm pretty sure Noah Kim played that game.
Yes, he did.
So, come on. There's a reasonable chance to think that we could win that game.
If you win that game, then I think you cover
Grant,
your
let
win
me ask you
total
this. Hold on.
easily.
We're going to audible for a second. Grant, what's the chances Michigan beats Texas?
The chances they beat them.
Yep. Chances Michigan beats Texas. Percentage. Give me a percentage.
40%
this
chance.
is the same.
Okay. So it has to be at least a 40% chance for Michigan State to beat Iowa.
In terms of talent level, Michigan State
Because
and
our
Iowa
quarterback,
are
when
not
we go
different.
out there versus Iowa, our quarterback is better than Iowa's quarterback.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
We haven't been able to say that in a long time about a quarterback.
So we have at least a 40% chance, and we're at home. I give it at least a 45% chance. Now
And it's
flip the coin
homecoming.
toss. And Iowa's offense is bad. Tim Lester's their offense coordinator. Got fired from Western Michigan.
Teams with bad offense, you can hang
That's a
around.
good stat.
You can hang around. I'm
All right,
not saying
last
we will,
year.
but I'm saying I did say we would beat Iowa.
I think we can. I certainly don't think it's like a guarantee that we lose that game.
That game might not be pretty. It might be 13
It
to
will
12
be ugly. It'll be an ugly
because Jonathan Smith's offense.
game.
But
Remember, we do have a coaching staff that is somewhat capable of coaching football. We did not have that last year when we played them.
Well,
Yes.
if this happens,
Like,
and
at
you guys
all.
are if you're 4-4 going into November, then you easily should hit your over win total.
Yeah, that's what I think will happen. I think we'll be 4-4 going in to
but
week
when
9.
we do face Oregon and Ohio State,
But it's be fine.
those games are going to be miserable.
It's okay. We know
Especially
that.
when we get to go out to Oregon in a short week. It's going to be awesome.
I might
That is not going to be
sprinkle.
enjoyable.
I might sprinkle exact or the 6+ wins on FanDuel if you guys are this confident. I might just get in the boat a little bit so I can root for my friends.
It's not like we're a team that has no good football players. We had straight up coaching malpractice last year.
Grant, we had 4 wins last year, and we lost in Minnesota when they turned the ball over 3 times on the first 4 possessions.
We had 4 wins last year, and the team this year will be better.
We lost to
coached.
Rutgers when we were up like 17 or 18 points on them.
in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe America's sleeping
We
on
should have
Michigan
had
State.
6 or 7 wins last year with
That's 6 wins. That
no
means
quarterback.
6 wins, we had a bowl game.
No quarterback
You're
at
500
all. 0
ball club.
offense.
And Cooper DeJean doesn't return that punt.
Cooper DeJean doesn't return that. The season might be drastically different.
Alex
Now,
can't talk about that
against
because
the good
Alex
team.
didn't watch that game.
Now against
yes.
the good teams,
Rewatch.
there's
I
nothing
watched
we
it
could
that
do.
night. No. We don't stack up to the good teams. We're not.
Well, we
No
lost
one's-
to 2 of the teams playing in the national championship game. There's nothing we could do about it.
We don't stack up to the good teams yet, as expected. But
Our two starting linebackers come back. Our starting safety comes back. Now, I have no idea who's going to play on the defensive line. Correct.
you can't tell me that we don't have as much or more talent than the rest of the Big Ten teams we play.
Which ones?
Yes, I
Outside
think
of-
we
What do you
stack
mean?
up well besides the top 3-4 teams, however you want to put it.
I don't know how many good teams there are now with the merge, but like the
Well,
Rutgers and
there's at
Purdue's
least-
and Illinois and all those teams, I still think talent-wise we're just as good or better than those teams. It's a matter of
Yeah, I
just
agree. Purdue's
coaching
probably
and
the worst
tape.
team in the conference. But I think Purdue or UCLA is a race to the bottom.
Northwestern's got to be the worst team in the conference.
Northwestern
I don't
was
know. I
Good
think-
last year.
Not good, but I would say Purdue
Good
and
for
UCLA.
what they had. Good for what they
Sure.
had.
What is MSU at to win 6 games? I got to look at
Did
this.
you know
I
that
might have to get on
Northwestern
this.
beat Utah last year?
They're
No,
what?
They didn't.
They beat Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl.
Oh, in the
Northwestern did?
bowl game.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like regular season, non-conference. I was like, there's no way they did.
They won 8 games.
MSU plus 128 to win 6 games. That could be a bet.
I like Michigan State to make a bowl game. Yes.
Let's go.
I don't think it'll be much
That
better than
quick
6.
game's gonna hit like crack.
But I think
That's gonna be
6 is a doable task.
Okay, so
Quarterback matters in college football.
not to just isolate.
I can honestly, Grant, I'll tell you what kind of team we have after that Maryland game, after the second week. Alex and I can 100% tell you what kind of team we have.
Yeah, we'll know.
Sure.
We'll know fast. Well, we might know after
the Mike
FAU
Loxley
if we lose.
test.
Yes.
And hey, week 2, I'll do the same. I'll watch us play Texas. I'll tell you if I should be invested for this season or not. We'll know
We'll
after
know.
week 2 how good our
You
teams
always
are.
know after week 2.
No, not in the past 3
No,
years for
false.
Michigan.
Not last year. Not last year.
Michigan State,
To- to
Washington in week 2 on the road 2
No.
years ago. We knew.
Was that week 2 or week 3?
Felt like week 2. And we're just going to call it week 2. You get smacked around and then you're like, yep, we suck. And you just know. You just know.
Here's the thing. I tried to
first quarter. I'm not talking about it anymore. Sorry, Graham.
So with Jonathan Smith, a new coach, obviously there's going to be some rough patches. You would think at some point.
Maybe.
You would think he's going to take a while in the game, but this is what I could think Michigan State fans could hold on to. Not that you're just going to wait till November, but would you guys say throw out really what happens in the first 8 games? Not go 0-8, right? But do what you need to do. As long as you go 3-1 in those last 4 games, I feel like you're going to leave the season with a positive mentality that we're in the right direction. Because you look at them,
100% agree.
Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. You got to win 3 of those 4, and you can be like, all right, Jonathan Smith, he's building. We feel okay going into next year, despite maybe that we just lost 4 games in a row before then. But if we go 3-1, we're resilient. We're getting better.
100% agree. Because if you're beating those teams after having a new coach and everything that's happened, you feel good about it. Now, Indiana does have a new coach. I get that.
Kurt Sig.
But Illinois thinks they have their savior. So Rutgers thinks they have their savior for a second round.
People are talking 10 wins, you said.
People are saying that, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're not.
Well, I do. Grant, I'm 100% agree with you. If you get me to those extra 15 to 19 practices, I'd be happy.
I think we're going to be a much more competitive team than we've seen in a bit. We might not win a lot of games, but I think we'll at least enjoy watching the product much more. It physically can't get worse than last year.
Hopefully less special teams blunders.
Nothing can be worse than what I watched last season.
Ross Ellis is not on the team anymore, thank God.
When you watch your team just lose because of coaching mistakes every week, and obviously some bad players and some bad play, but when you just know half of the reason is just strictly on coaching, it can't get worse. And so I think it's good that we have adults in the room now. We might be able to enjoy watching them even if they lose.
With that being said, though, in my hypothetical 3-1, I know people still cling on to overall records. Let's say you go 3-0, 3-1 to end the year, but you still finish 5-7. Are you okay with that as Jonathan Smith's first season?
No. Got to get to 6. Got to have expectations still.
6 is that number.
4-0, 0-4, 4-0. That's the best case scenario.
8-4,
6.
4-0, 0-4, 4-0. 8-4.
Oh my God.
Get there. That would be, I'd be to the moon if we went 8-4.
Yeah, I would say so.
But we're not losing to Iowa, though. So
9-3. Let's do this thing.
We're flirting with the playoffs.
Well, we're not, because we would have no
3
good
losses
wins.
would be to the 2 of the top teams, and we're not losing to Michigan either. So
10-2, baby. We made it.
Oh,
Your
I'll
guys'
never say we're losing to Michigan.
Your guys' home loss to Indiana is going to hit like crack.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be like the.
I'll be
missed
so
field
pissed
goal
if we
again,
lose
Alex.
that game.
I actually think they're the best team of the 4 that you played at the end of the year. I think Indiana's going to be sneaky, not bad.
Because you just love their stupid coach.
I love their coach,
He's
and they
Mel
brought in
Tucker white
talent.
version.
No,
Yeah, he's all show.
if Mel Tucker did what he did at James Madison, we could have a conversation.
Mel Tucker won 11 games in the Power 5 conference.
Kurt Signetti had people clamoring for James Madison to be considered for the playoff. All right, we gotta set our expectations.
Mel Tucker gave us the greatest running back I've ever seen live.
He did.
That's
We
not
can't
an
build a
understatement.
program. No, he got a good player.
A good player, Grant. He was better than good.
Great player. Sorry. A generational player. For
Unbelievable.
Michigan State fans.
He was
Generational.
unbelievable.
Spans generations for Michigan State player, of our fans.
It's a shame he was on such a dog shit team.
Well, minus Purdue. Can't believe you guys lost to Purdue that year.
We lost to Ohio State by 70 points.
But Purdue really hurt.
Feel really.
Purdue hurt, yes, but
On there, I was
Unless you
watching it
were
with you.
there.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
glad
we
I
with
wasn't.
was it me, you, and Ben V watching that? Alex?
actually, I
Who
was with a bunch
us?
of Michigan fans, and they're being.
There.
I
I got
was
to
at the
watch
game.
Purdue rush the field.
Ugh. And there was no good bars.
We
to
were
go
ranked
to.
number 3 in the country.
Yeah. In the first CFP rankings that year. My God.
Holy Mel Tucker conned us so bad. Oh my God.
Speaking of the playoff, should we, as a podcast, view Michigan's season as a failure if they miss the playoff?
Yes.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. You're the defending national champions.
You got to make the playoff. I'm not telling you to win the national championship. You got to
You
make
guys talk about how good your defense
You don't even
is.
have to win the Big Ten. You just have
Look,
to make the playoff.
I know that's the team. Obviously, team speak will say it's a failure, but I'm saying
You should
I'm
say
trying
that.
to be. I'm trying to be a rational fan and not be cocky. And I'm looking at their schedule and the question marks on their team, and I don't know if I'm going to feel in my heart that it's a failure if they miss the playoff.
Let's all be honest with ourselves, all of us right now.
Let's do it.
Great,
When
you want
our
to win. It's going to be a failure.
When our teams, all of them, even when they're not good and don't have any expectations, when they don't reach the playoffs or they don't reach March Madness or they don't reach whatever, it sucks. It's not great. It's not
It's the
enjoyable.
first thing you say is like, wow, this sucks.
You start watching the playoffs like, damn, I wish we were here. This sucks.
I agreed. But feeling disappointed, I don't know if it's the same as failure in my mind. I don't know if that's semantics or what, but I don't think I'm going to
Feels like semantics.
look back at myself now and be like, wow, I really because last year and the years before were different.
Are you just
Last
trying
year,
to lower expectations right now on this podcast in case it goes poorly?
I have been
Is
the
this a
entire
plan?
offseason. Has anyone ever listened? I've said that they could go easily 8-4. I don't understand. I've never wavered from that. For this whole offseason, I've been trying to say,
why lower the expectations? Why not just have fun with it and think that you're going to be good again?
The best head coach in the history of the program is gone. The best quarterback in the history of the program is gone.
Grant told me last year what Grant Anschutz, podcast host, Shout at Michigan Sports, told me last year on the podcast.
What did he say?
He said, why doubt them until they prove you wrong? They're just going to keep winning. You said that. You said until they don't win, you're going to think they win. So why are you doing this now? They still haven't lost. They've just been winning. So why do you think they're not going to win now?
Because
until they lose, you can't think they're going to lose. That's what you said.
There's an important stat about that.
They haven't lost since what, Georgia?
TCU.
Oh, year after.
Yes. How many teams are there in D1 college football? 130 something?
62.
Okay, whatever it is.
I have no idea.
I think it's in the 130s. I think there's 130 something college football teams. D1. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
I'll wait for you because it'll impact the stat I'm about to give. It's important for Michigan fans to keep in mind this year. And for you guys too.
134.
It's 134. All those 134 teams, there's a stat. I forget the guy's name, but he does a preseason article. He looks at returning production for each team in the country. Now, obviously, this can vary because some people get transfer portal players that are going to be better than the ones that left. But in Michigan's case, they're not really one of those teams that does that. They ranked 122nd out of 134 for returning production, which is on the lowest end of production from last year's team, tackles, yards, whatever, out the door. So that is where they always win until they prove me wrong goes away because it's not even close to the same team. Like I said, best coach ever, best quarterback ever, gone. Probably best running back as well I've ever seen in Blake Corum, gone. So a lot of questions. And one of the toughest schedules I've ever seen my college football team have to play on paper going into a season.
Yeah, but we know one of those teams that we are hyping up right now will probably suck. That's just how it's going to go.
You think one team between Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas will suck?
Will not make the playoff.
Oregon and Ohio State have a clash course to face each other in the national championship.
One of those four teams, including Michigan, will not make the playoff. I guess that could be that Michigan's that team that is the one that sucks, in quotations, because they won't suck. But
I mean, you guys I don't know why you're acting like I'm a bad fan for thinking they could go 8-4.
I just know that there's at least one Michigan fan with the initials BV who will think that you're being soft about this Michigan program.
That's fine, but I've always tried to stay as neutral. I feel like I've had a pretty good track record over these 3 years of calling it like I saw it. I was a little slow to the Ohio State party. Listener Brad was the fastest. We're going to beat them, so he pulled me over that. But once I knew the team was good,
can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Can you not hear me? Alex?
I mean, I can hear you guys barely.
Like lagging or volume wise?
Yeah, it's just like you sound robotic.
Oh, that happened to me a little bit a while ago, but then it went away. And now I was back.
Now I can hear you. You're back.
Okay. But
I missed
I
that
feel
whole
like
bit.
it was more just over the course of their 3-year stretch. I feel like I've been pretty spot on when I'm going to pump their tires and inflate them. And when I'm like, I don't know. And there was stretches throughout. And like I was saying, listener Brad was the first to saying, we're going to beat Ohio State. I needed to see it to believe it. But then once I did, I felt more confident about them going forward.
Okay. But I mean, why? I don't know. The fun part about being a fan is just building your hopes up and getting crushed. Like, you should be crushed if they don't make the playoff. I would be crushed.
I don't
When
think
Michigan State went to the playoff and then followed it up with the dud of a 3-9 season, I was depressed.
Yeah, but how did you feel going into that season? Did you think that, like, what did you think of the team?
I thought they would be good, but we didn't have a quarterback. We just lost the best quarterback I had seen.
So you're 2-0.
So that's what I'm trying to learn from past things I've seen.
Yeah, but I think when you get so used to winning every week and how awesome it is, the fall hurts even more. You're like, oh my God, what did I used to do when they weren't winning? And then you realize how much it sucks. And you'll be thoroughly disappointed. You'll
think
be
for me,
thoroughly
maybe
disappointed. You will.
I think it's really just the quarterback thing. So this could be as simple as if Alex Orji, whoever it is, looks good against Fresno State and then plays well against Texas, I will let myself start dreaming of another playoff run. But if I don't see enough through those 2 weeks, then I'm not going to believe this team is going to even beat USC.
So you're just going to lose, and then you'll like lose your first game, and you'll just be like, oh, well, whatever. You won't be upset. You'll just move on.
I mean, again, every
Meanwhile,
time they
Evan's
lose,
week,
I don't.
when Michigan State loses to Maryland, Evan's week will be ruined. And we have no expectations of making the playoff whatsoever. And the first time Michigan State loses next year, I'm going to be depressed for a week.
Going to not talk to people for 2 days.
That's just what happens in sports. You can't just turn it off.
That's after back-to-back losing seasons.
Yeah.
And you jump back on the horse.
Our first loss this year is going to suck terribly. I'm going to be super upset.
And the first thing we're saying is like, oh boy, here we go again.
And then I'll talk myself through scenarios of how we can still get to the playoff after that first loss. And then
Grant,
the second
we were
one will
so
come.
bad the last 2 years. I still watched every single Michigan State game last year.
Yeah. Because
I was hunting down in Indiana, and I was streaming the Michigan State-Minnesota game on my phone while sitting in the tree stand.
Yeah, I missed out on other good games and would watch. I'd put ours on solo on the screen.
Watch the Michigan State-Rutgers game the entire game.
You can't just turn it off. You're going to be disappointed if they don't make the playoff.
I'm 100% with Alex. The downfall of your team is more painful than the rise of the national championship. It just is.
There's no pain when you rise. Well, there is pain.
Like how great you felt.
I think the national championship changes everything about your perspective on a team.
You should want that.
I would be surprised if you're
winner.
not depressed the second they lose.
If they lose to Texas, I will not be depressed.
When Quinn Ewers scores 49 points and you guys only score 10 in the big house,
all right,
you will be depressed.
If you get spanked, like
49-10.
Sure, like how Michigan State got spanked by Washington in the last 2 years for comparisons. You don't know what losses are like. So imagine a loss like that. It's going to take your soul. That's just what's going to happen. You're going to be depressed.
I might be a minority. I think it changes a little bit when you won the title the year before. I think it does a little bit.
Shouldn't it change the other way, Grant? You should have the expectation of competing at a high level every single year in, year out, no matter who's on the field.
They say once you taste it, then that's all you crave.
And you're not craving a national championship right now, Grant. You're okay with missing the playoffs.
It's weird. Your behavior right now is weird.
You just had the best food of all time in your life. Your number one meal of all time.
You don't want it again.
And then you never want it again. You're like, man, it was all right. It was good.
That's a great point.
I had it once. That's all that matters.
I'm good. This is crazy. From how competitive you are as a person in all the little stupid shit that you do. This is weird.
The robot stuff's happening.
I just don't get it. I don't believe you, quite frankly. I don't believe you. I know that deep down, you're going to go to bed after that first loss and be super upset and pissed off and probably a little crabby to Marissa when she asks you about it and makes a joke about it because she doesn't like Michigan.
If it's Fresno State, yeah.
I can understand, like, being okay with the Texas. Fine. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I've heard you the entire time.
I know that.
It's been rambling on.
No, you can't hear us. I'll forget.
He's reconnecting.
Come on, connection.
Oh, I hear you.
I should have changed it to the first loss that, like, eliminates them from the playoff. Like, they're not going to make it. That's when the loss will be the worst. Because you can give yourself hope after 1 loss, 2 loss. But the third, dead. Michigan State's third loss, I'll be dead. Dead inside. And welcome to the new show, the Cadmus and Gilly Show.
We're talking about everything Michigan State. What would you like to know? We're going live on YouTube in 5, 4.
Hey, Evan. Quick question here. This is Joe from Rochester. I just wanted your thoughts here. Is there a chance that Nick Marsh could be the best receiver of the Big Ten next year? Thanks for getting back to my call.
Oh, Nick Marsh is the best Big Ten in the wide. Sorry. No, you have no idea who's on the rosters of USC, Oregon, Ohio State if you think Nick Marsh can be the best wide receiver in the Big Ten.
Hey, Evan, it's Rick from Farmington Hills. Just curious, is there any chance Michigan State could compete into the fourth quarter with Michigan, Ohio State, or Oregon this year? Thanks in advance.
They can compete with Michigan into the fourth quarter. Oregon's going to be a bloodbath. It'll be 35-0 at halftime versus Oregon. Ohio State, you never know if their coaches are going to get in the way. Obviously, their top playmakers are gone. Can you stop the run against them? But the Michigan game, I say we can compete into the fourth quarter against them.
Hey, Evan, what's the worst case scenario for Michigan football this year?
Worst case scenario for Michigan football?
Is it possible that they could miss a bowl game entirely?
No, they're still too much talented against.
Hey, Evan, it's Johnny from Chicago.
Oh, great! Saying that the internet went out.
Internet the bed. You guys stay connected? Yes, sir. We're doing a little segment with our viewers right now.
We're back.
Hey, Grant, sorry to bother. I'm Joe from Rochester. Just had one quick question for you guys. Who's your Big Ten sleeper outside of Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Penn State? Is there any team that could sneak up and win this whole thing?
Oh, my internet.
Evan, what do you think?
What'd you say?
I think they could sneak up and win this damn thing. Of the big boys, I really don't see a 0% chance that somebody besides those four teams wins.
Wisconsin?
No, Wisconsin doesn't have enough talent on the roster.
USC could do it.
Hey, Grant, did you hear my question, sir?
Yeah,
this
outside of the big
from
boys.
Farmington Hills.
USC could do it.
Oh, Grant, we had a great little Q&A segment with our fans there while you were gone. So I don't know if you want to keep those in, but had some good questions. Can Michigan State compete into the fourth quarter with Oregon, Ohio State, or Michigan this year? I haven't said yes to one team.
They'll probably beat Michigan.
You didn't say we'd beat them.
So okay, I take away from that chaos. Not really.
You're a liar.
2%. Yeah, you guys think I'm lying about Michigan fandom this year.
I think when you guys lose a game that puts you out of the playoff picture officially, you'll be sad.
I mean, I'm going to be sad when they lose, but I'm not going in thinking that we're a bunch of world beaters to start the year.
You don't think Michigan will make the playoff? Gun to your head right now.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't take action on it. I wouldn't willingly put my own
I'm saying you
money
have to.
on. Yeah, like I would bet if I had to bet $1,000 one way, I would say they don't make the playoff.
Spicy. I can only see Evan's shoulder.
I don't think that's crazy.
For the last 30 minutes, I've only been able to see your shoulder.
I mean, you guys don't think they're going to make the playoff?
I do.
I don't.
We both had them in our top 12.
Out of respect. Evan didn't have them.
Actually, no, I did not have them. I forgot Alabama in my top 10.
You didn't have them?
No.
Alabama in my top 10.
Bro.
They only made the top 10 because of Alex and I's rankings.
I saw those consensus graphic. It's nice.
And then Notre Dame and Penn State snuck in. Penn State because of Alex and I. Notre Dame because of Evan.
Did you want to wrap this segment, Grant, since you're not spoopy? Pretty much wrapped anyways.
We can't. I don't really know. We definitely went long enough. So cheers to episode 177.
I'm sure Joe and Johnny from Rochester and Farmington have more questions if needed, but
I'm excited to listen to that when I actually go back and listen and edit.
Cheers.
Is any of it usable?
No, God, no.
I mean, I asked legit questions.
If Alex's stupid voice wants to be on it, then yeah, go ahead.
I did. Hey, Evan, this is Joe from Rochester. Do you think Nick Marsh could be the best receiver in the Big Ten this season?
That could be a good bit. We'll have to see.
Pretty funny. I mean, I laughed at myself.
Of course you did.
Cheers.
Cheers.